Hey, everybody.
Hey, how you doing?
It is time.
Gondor calls for aid.
Gondor, yes. Oh my God. Okay.
All right. So, hello everyone. Welcome back to Lorecast Eternals.
My name is Mitchell.
Suffering.
That's Jacob.
Pain, even.
I crave death.
Fair enough.
I'm just having flashbacks to the last one and like...
Yeah.
To be fair, we were smart this time. I'm Phil, by the way.
No, we were dumb. We left it open for longer with more people.
Yeah, but we didn't leave it open while we were recording.
There was no end in sight with that one. There is a goal. So if y'all don't know what we're talking about, this is our anniversary episode.
Second anniversary.
Second anniversary. So yay!
2 years going strong.
Not dead yet.
Not dead yet.
And because we are unoriginal, we are going to be doing another Q&A episode. Almost specifically so we can have Q&A episode 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yes. Was a lot.
If you remember from the last episode, from the last time we did this, a year ago.
It was 4 hours.
It was 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
So this time we're arming ourselves with alcohol before we start. Because this is going to be a long one.
It's going
I feel like
to...
I should have brought an edible.
Feel like I should have brought a carton of smokes and maybe some crack.
I got a nice bottle of wine.
I got a nice bottle of whiskey. And
Before
Jacob has a nice beer.
I have a lambic. I like lambic.
No. I just find it funny because Mitchell and I are very much like, yes, we brought alcohol for the long haul, and you're sitting there with one beer like, yes, this will last me 4 hours.
Oh,
and it's already almost gone.
Oh no, I know it won't. But also Mitchell has some of those Japanese lagers. I'm gonna try.
So just to give you all the quick update, because I love doing our yearly update of our stats.
Wait, do you want to do Patreon first?
I could do Patreon first. Nah, I'm gonna do stats first.
Stats first? Okay.
Yeah.
Stats first.
Just this is going off of what we have from Spotify because Spotify is by far our most used platform.
Why don't you use Podbean? It has our overall statistics.
Because Spotify actually has more starts and streams than what Podbean states. Podbean has downloads, but Spotify actually uses what's played.
Well, the information you told me about downloads earlier today, that's a pretty big milestone.
It is a pretty big milestone. But at the moment, off of Spotify, we have over 100,000 streams. We're 100,002 streams.
100,002?
100,002 streams.
Oh, 102,000.
I am stupid.
Yes, it is known. No, I thought you meant that we had
known
100,000 streams and 2, and I was going to be very impressed by that.
Yeah, like
No,
we
have
just did it, yay!
Yeah, no,
No.
we have 102,000.
I like how us being over 100,000 longer makes it less special. Like if it was 100,002. It's like, oh my God, 100,000. Oh, okay.
Oh God.
That's whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We have over 12,700 individual listeners.
And I remember correctly, listeners on Spotify people who consistently come back to
Who
listen.
actually listen to a episode more than 60 seconds, I think.
Yeah. Basically, that's 12,000 individual accounts that listen, that
stay
don't
for
just
longer
like
than a
accidentally
minute.
click it. Yeah, and are
Yeah.
like, oh, whoops, this is not the right thing.
And I'm just going to round up because it's 6 off, but it's going to be 2,700 followers.
Nice.
So,
I like that. Me gusta.
all
That's some good numbers.
But I did look because one of my favorite podcasts is Party at the All Points to listen to one because I played the game more frequently than y'all, so I like to try to keep up with the meta.
Dude, I moved and I discovered that there is like almost no Warhammer community, and I am so sad.
I'm not that far away from you.
Yeah, but I can't afford gas, so like.
It is your job to spread it.
My brother.
Yeah.
You must spread
sorry.
Warhammer like the plague.
Yeah.
But we have more downloads than Party at the All Points.
Heyo.
Yeah, that was surprising because Party of All Points has like over 100 episodes.
I think they have a lot more
They've
episodes
been
than
around
us.
longer than us.
Um,
By a pretty wide margin, I think.
they started a year before us, but they did weekly episodes.
Yeah.
So they started a year earlier, and they do more, and they do more episodes more often.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive is.
Yeah.
Mitchell, what accent was that?
I don't know.
It sounded like what? No, what's the guy from?
That sounded Wisconsin.
No,
Wisconsin.
no, dude. What's the guy from the first Frozen movie who has the sauna.
My name is
and...
Olaf.
Olaf.
No, it's not Olaf. It's because Olaf is the snowman.
No, it's the dude who runs the store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First
like,
of all,
"Hello,
I was doing a very old SpongeBob reference.
Honestly,
that
it kind of
explains
sounded
why I
like
didn't get it.
a Minnesota, like a Minnesota.
This is Olaf.
Minnesota.
This is also
bit.
Olaf. And then it goes, that's right. My name is Jim.
Oh, man. I like vaguely remember that. It's been so long.
Yeah, so I'm very proud of us. I would never imagine we actually get to that point.
Yeah, 2 years running
I
strong.
didn't expect us to get past 10 episodes.
And here we are. What? This is going to be our 5th or 6th episode, I think.
You
Good
think
question.
we pay attention to that?
I labeled this as, actually, I think it's our 33rd, but I labeled it as anniversary. Actually, I put Annie 2.
Annie too.
Annie 2.
But yeah,
Annabelle
no,
too.
I mean, why? But
You can never
podcast
get rid of the doll.
made it. Fucking Chris. Made it through COVID. Made it through death of a loved one on Phil's behalf.
Made it through, like,
2 moves, I think, or one.
Yeah.
One, 2 moves. One for you, one for Mitchell, one for Phil.
Well, actually, technically it'd be 3. Because Mitchell and I both left that apartment, so if we want to count us individually, it's 3.
Oh yeah, it was 3.
Oh,
Yeah, 'cause
yeah.
you moved twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, it's so weird.
Still going strong.
I miss doing this on Wednesdays so much.
Yeah, but you work on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Now he does.
Yeah. Also, miss like having a job that was not stressful.
That's
Yeah.
called working for the government.
No, that's called what happens when your boss is so incompetent that the government has to fire him.
Yeah, that boss got fired. But no,
We're talking about the one back from Bastrop.
yeah.
Your boss now's good,
Moving
right?
on. Everybody I work with is very competent, but we're highly understaffed.
So overworked.
Doesn't
Yes.
matter how good you are when like every person has to do the work of 3 people, and it's like yes, stress.
Yep. So moving on, I'm gonna say like, oh, we got new Patreon members. Woo!
Shout out to the
Yeah.
Patreon. You, as always, you guys are fucking awesome. But we do have some
Yes.
new members, and we're gonna shout them out.
To help pay for the gas and subscription for like Podbean and all
Stuff
that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
They
nice, very
help
handy.
it keep it rolling.
Yep.
Yes.
They grease the wheel, so to speak.
We have Alessandro
If we fuck these names up, we're sorry.
Etwick.
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 Yeah.
That's cool.
Fishboy
Fishboy
and Braden.
and Braden. All right.
So thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Patreon. Oh, and so this is just a forewarning. Something that we do every year during the anniversaries is we take a look at the podcast and talk about things that did or didn't work throughout the year, and if we need to change things around, things like that. So we're going to be doing that today or tomorrow. If that does include some changes to the Patreon or the Discord or whatever it is, we will let y'all know. But that the time for that is going to be now. So
Yeah.
just be on the lookout for some possible changes. And if it has any effects, either positive or negative, let us know. We'll handle it in the best way we can and move forward.
Yeah.
And if you're
Okay.
wondering why we sound so dead inside, it's because we are dreading how long this episode's
This
going to be.
is actually we're expecting this to take over 6 hours. And so
And that's after and that's after we curated the list. That's right. All you motherfuckers that put in why, when, who, what, where, and how, and all that shit.
or
those
how to talk to girls.
those questions got deleted.
Why has my dad not come back from getting milk?
Gone. Get out of here.
It's
Every
because you kept asking stupid questions like that.
every single pie episode question got deleted. Stop.
Okay.
Get some help.
Okay. Are we ready? Let me shoot this last bit of cognac and out.
Right? But just don't worry. We didn't. We didn't.
Me
Get,
and my whiskey are
we
quickly following suit.
Okay,
We
I got
did-
my wine. I'm
we
good.
didn't get rid of all the fun questions, just the stupid ones. And just like last episode,
Oh.
if there's any questions,
Lafroig. I couldn't remember the name of that scotch.
Oh.
And I've been trying to remember that name for a week.
Like, oh yeah, super. Dude, you could have just asked me.
I couldn't fucking remember what it was
you-
called.
you
I've
could-
been
you
literally
could
trying to
literally-
remember that for a week.
You could have gone, what scotch tastes like liquid smoke? And I would have gone, Lafroy.
Oh my god, I've been trying to remember that for a
So what I'm
fucking
hearing is the
week
secret,
now.
the secret ingredient to unlock that memory was alcohol.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
But no, so just like last episode, if there's any, we haven't read all the questions, we just scanned them for stupid ones. If there's any questions that we don't want to answer or feel comfortable answering, you're gonna get hit with a butter dog.
But a dog.
Butter dog.
Dog with a
Dog
butter.
with the butter. And that's gonna be our code word for skipping this one now.
Yes.
I'm gonna go grab beer and I'll be back.
Okay.
But yeah. So
Let this shindig start.
should we wait for Phil?
Nah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do we want to tell them? Do we want to tell them how we're potentially gonna be doing the episode and the links and whatnot, or just like
This might be posted 3 different ways.
yeah, this might be cut into 3 2-hour snippets or
Because we thought about, like, really doing it as one 6-hour episode, but then I was like, why could I just not pad the system?
how can we artificially inflate our numbers?
Like, yeah. So, and then that allows you to go like, finally, I'm done with one.
Yeah, we just figured that having like a 6-hour fucking episode might be a little bit to chomp through. So we're oh, thank you, Jesus.
Hey, try that.
He brought the Tums.
Tums first.
Okay.
How many?
That's what happens when you eat such large burgers.
Well, that's what happens when you're down to like one meal a day, consisting of like 1 cup of ramen.
He hasn't been eating healthy either.
Yeah, no.
Bruh, I need to take you to Costco.
Dude, I've been saying you to go shopping and stock. To be fair, he also always pots and pans are still at my house.
Seek help. Moving on. Moving on. Okay,
For Christ's sake, machine heal thyself.
are we ready for the
Working
first?
on it.
Are we ready for the first one? Because we're just going down the list.
Yeah, let's get started.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Boog.
How do you feel about the book God Eater's Son? I have not read the book. I have not
I don't know what that book is.
I haven't read it. Yeah,
I believe
Oh,
it's...
that's to be such a disappointment. First question: what do you guys think? Well, you see, butter dog.
Eater's Son. I
Hold
believe.
up, look it up real quick. What is it? What is it? Quick.
I believe it's a corn-based. Yeah, it's that one. It's a
Oh, that
corn-based.
does look like corn.
We have not gotten to it. I've been really bad. I've
Yeah.
been highly stressed at work, and I need to listen to more, and I haven't been able to actually hobby the amount that I want to hobby.
Dude, I've been listening to either military science fiction or like fairy porn, and like that's it.
I've been reading through.
What a contrast!
I know exactly what he's talking about,
No, so
and
I've
it's a
been
bit of an
listening to-
exaggeration, but
No,
not
it's
by
not.
much. Not
no,
by
no,
much.
it's not an exaggeration.
Oh,
at
did it get
fucking
worse?
Yes, it did.
Oh my!
Oh my god! No, that book came out of left fucking field, and I was like, "What the shit is this?" But I was already 4 books into the series, and I was like, "I'm not fucking quitting."
It goes from like, oh, this is a cool fantasy book to I slightly caressed his left knit, and it's like, no.
Okay, moving on.
Look. All I'm saying is I had to read about someone getting aggressively face fucked, and like that was. At that point, I was like, okay, well, I need to call the person who recommended this series to me and bitch them about a fucking warning, please and thank you.
Where's my parental advisory?
And then when I called them and asked them about it, they were like, oh yeah, no, you actually can't buy that book if you're a minor.
It was Jess, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was your girlfriend. Thank you very much.
Don't blame me for that shit, bitch. You're the one who berated her for the book.
Okay,
You're the one who had to bring that fairy porn toter into my life.
are
To
we
be fair, I did enjoy the book.
moving on? Guys, we got so much to do.
By mouth of Sauron, are you guys going to LVO this year?
I would not just keep on doing the names because you're going to see a lot of repeats.
Yeah.
Just do the question.
LVO this year.
People want to own their questions, though.
I'm not about to
Okay,
say.
how about this? We say the name that they have a really good question. You guys
Anyway.
suck.
Moving on. LVO 2024, probably not, at least for me. I've got school now, and my school is year-round. So
I do not know
not.
if I'll have the vacation days in order to do
I'm
it.
pretty sure we also said that 2024 we weren't going to do LVO. We were going to try to go to Adepticon.
Yeah. I think that's probably a better.
Adepticon's probably more going to be.
That will allow
having
me.
said that, there's a pretty good chance we'll go to ReaperCon this year, though, because ReaperCon is like a hop, skip, and a jump away. And I have family that lives really close by who's willing to, house and shelter us.
Mm-hmm.
So ReaperCon, that's on the table. Adepticon, that's on the table.
LVO,
LVO, as much as I enjoyed it. Nope.
Don't
Also,
die.
I'm kind of more than happy to miss out on the whole gambling scene. That's just a bit much.
The dryness of Las Vegas.
Okay, no, I did like that.
I Mr. was drowning in his own nosebleed.
Yeah, you had so many nosebleeds.
They were aggressive.
Yeah.
Had a blast.
It was fun. Gambling worked out real good for me.
Oh, fuck off.
Hey, it worked well for me too.
Shut the fuck. Both of you go die. You know what? I went there with $100, and you know how much money I made off of that? I made 30, which I then immediately turned around and lost because it was only $30. And to be fair, I went there planning to lose $100 anyway, but I came home with 5 cents.
Nice.
Actually, no, sorry. I came home with 9 cents because you can't mix tickets from different casinos. So I had a 5-cent ticket from Caesar's Palace, and I had a 4-cent ticket from the Rio. And even though they use the exact same print system that's owned by the same company, you can't mix them. I think they're even both owned by Caesar's Palace. But anyway, you can't mix them, and I really didn't want to go up to the cashier and be like, hey, can I cash out this 5-cent ticket? So I have 2 tickets. I have one from Caesar's Palace, which I'm probably going to hang on to for forever and eternity because it's Caesar's Palace. And then I have a 4-cent ticket from the Rio.
Caesar's Palace was cool as shit.
Yeah.
It was cool, but
They got to see how fucking expensive Vegas was because that was both of those first time, right?
But we can go to the hellscape that is Chicago next year.
RoboCop 1?
Yes.
Yeah.
At least it's not Detroit.
At least it's not.
Wow. I've actually been to Chicago before.
So I went when I was younger. Me and my mother.
Welcome to Cleveland.
We took a train to Chicago, and then took a train back to Texas, and it was cool as shit.
Yeah. So
The train, not the city. I didn't really go in the city.
Do you remember Nolan from high school?
Yeah.
So this was back when we were in Boy Scouts together. Mm-hmm. We went up to Chicago. And
that's where Matthew went
to
for
visit the Bean.
boot camp.
Gotcha.
And he got stuck there.
Yeah, I remember that.
God, he hated it so much because he was in the winter.
Yeah.
And had no proper clothing.
How is it? It's fucking cold.
And that's about right. It's cold. It's windy. Ah!
Pain.
It's fucking windy out here.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
But yeah, so ReaperCon, Adepticon, maybe
LVO, no.
Yeah, LVO, no. Although it was cool seeing Bricky. And
I
all
told
the
that
other
man
people there.
I will hold on to that story forever. It's like he just walks into the elevator and goes, "Is there room in here?"
Oh my god!
And there's just
so deadpan. No.
I swear to God. Yeah, no, we're the only 3 in this elevator, and Bricky walks up and he's like, "Hey, is there any room in this elevator?" And he's walking on anyway because there's obviously room. And Mitchell just deadpan no, and Bricky gotta give him this look of well, fuck you, I'm getting on anyway.
What?
Yeah. Clearly I was
it
joking,
was
but then
funny as
I
shit.
realized it's oh, wait a minute. Bricky doesn't know me. He doesn't know how I joke.
Because the 3 of us saw Bricky twice, and every time me and Phil were like, like fucking schoolgirls, we loved Bricky, watched a whole bunch of his shit, and every time Mitchell was like, I am unimpressed. Every time.
Yeah.
And then
it was pretty bad.
They were like, get your shit together every time.
Yeah,
I did not treat that man special, and I think he appreciated it.
Bro, you kind of came off as an ass.
Yeah, I did.
Listen, we didn't beg for photos. I count that as a win.
Yeah. No, honestly, it was really cool because the first time whenever we saw him is we hit him with the nip.
He was like, no, fuck, we're like,
Yeah. Old school Bricky. But no, no, and that was really cool because we didn't go up and talk to him or anything, but we were like, oh yeah, nip, and he was like, holy shit, and he came over and he actually talked to us for a few seconds, and that was really cool. We didn't try and bait him or any. Okay, well I guess we did technically bait him a little bit, but very much he made the decision.
At a distance. We were
he made the decision to come up and say hello, and that was really cool.
And that one fucking guy came out of the woodworks and.
By the way, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember what I said was worse than no. I said clearly not.
Oh God.
Such a dick.
Moving on.
Yep.
Moving on, you prick.
With the re-release of Epic for 30K, do you think GW will bring back one of the Epic scale fantasy games or an Epic scale AOS game, i.e. Mana War?
Wait,
Epic
the
is
Epic still
essentially-
came back for 30K?
Yeah.
Yes, and Epic
They're doing
is,
it Titanicus scale?
That's essentially
Oh, the Titanicus game. Gotcha. Okay. Yes.
like
yes.
Knights of the size of Space Marines.
Yeah. No. I know. I just didn't realize that
It's
was Epic
essentially
scale.
a
But no, it's not the Titanic. They're redoing Epic in Titanicus scale.
Oh.
But
Yes.
Epic is essentially Apocalypse, but with specialized minis, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, it's a
It was
So
actually one of the
whereas-
best games that GW has released.
yeah. So whereas Apocalypse is now like a clunky way of doing large scale 40K battles, Epic was like a genuine game devoted to large scale battles, where it was like, oh yeah, instead of the individual Space Marine being worth a fuck, the individual Space Marine means like fuck
You have
all.
groups of like 100 Space Marines doing things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's also where you get the really stupid Fulgrim Magnus that's blue models. Like,
Yeah.
What?
have you never seen those models?
No.
Yeah, no, that's the old school Primarch models, like the super old school ones that nobody looks at as canon anymore. That's where they came from.
Was Epic?
Yeah.
Oh, because they're probably doing Horus Heresy battles and shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Philip,
Well, they were doing old school, like pre-established war battles.
list your top 3 favorite dragon models in AOS.
That's appropriate.
That's
Okay.
appropriate.
So I absolutely love both of the dragon leaders for Stormcast.
Crondy.
Krondis
and-
and
You know, I just
The-
got that asking dragon fucker Phil what his 3 favorite dragons are could horrifically backfire.
Sakari, I think. No, that's not right. I'm gonna forget the other one's name. But
The
again,
one with one eye.
yeah. No, Krondis and Karazé.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what
One
it is.
is Magic Boy and one is I'm gonna beat the shit out of you now.
Yeah, I love beat the shit out of you, boy. He's just a lot of fun. But
He's kind of a fucking monster. He's
yeah,
a beast.
so that's one of my favorite sculpts. I love the Storm Drake. Storm Drake's great.
Well, that's 3 right there. You could stop.
Krondis and Karazar are the same box. Like those
Yeah.
make the
Yeah, they're only
shit.
they're only slightly different. And then the Star Drake, which is only like kind of sort of a dragon, but like the Star Drake.
I love that model so much.
Yeah, if I could get my hands on one of those models, that'd be fantastic.
I got one of those models.
You want to give it to me?
No.
I know what to
Bitch.
get Philip for his birthday and or Christmas.
Heyo.
Yay. Will we ever get back to actual bi-weekly episodes?
Probably
Listen here, you little
not.
shit. No, we do bi-weekly episodes.
Oh yeah, well, that's right, we do. I
For
always
the
forget about
second
that.
fucking
Yeah.
time. It's one Discord
hey,
and one
hey.
face-to-face a month.
Yeah.
Butterdog. Moving on.
Yeah.
That's fair.
If we're going to be like
Life
doing...
just keeps happening. That's all I'm gonna
Actually,
say.
honestly, if we're doing one with Discord, we should do it on a Wednesday or something. No, not Wednesday, because I do hockey on Wednesdays.
I also babysit Wednesday and Thursday.
Thursday. Tuesday?
Yeah, I can give him a Tuesday.
It's one Tuesday out of the month.
You drastically underestimate how many days I get to myself.
Moving on.
Bitch, fuck you, I agreed. Me? Yes, I'll do it. Why are you being mean to me? Motherfucker, what?
What are your guys' favorite AOS books?
So I actually did really enjoy.
Gloomspite's nice. Oh, Jesus Christ. Gloomspite's nice.
Who's calling you?
I'm gonna go check. Be right back.
Okay, bye.
Ah.
Gloomspite was a good one. I'm currently looking at my right side. I've only ever really listened to a lot of them.
I actually really enjoyed Curse City.
I thoroughly enjoyed Kato Ezekiel. I also Hollowed Ground. It's probably
That's the one about the Hollowed Knights, right?
No. Hollowed Ground was 2 witch hunters.
Gotcha.
And it was after the siege of Excelsis.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
those are in Kragnos. I thoroughly enjoyed Kragnos.
Nice.
I'm staring Jacob in the eyes. He's
He
kind
said
of
Gloomspite. Go on to the next one.
he's Oh no. Okay, moving on. Let's see. What do y'all think of Jeff?
Who the fuck is Jeff?
My name is Jeff. Moving on.
What? Wait, hold up. What? No, wait, hold up. Stop. Time out. Back up. What?
That was it. I don't know who Jeff is. But I kept this question because
Just to confuse me.
well, no.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
What do you guys do in your free time outside of Warhammer and work?
Lots of video games. And then actually, so recently I've gotten hooked on Suits, the TV series. It's on Netflix.
I don't have Netflix anymore.
Rip. But yeah, no, I've actually gotten hooked on that. It's pretty good. I'm enjoying it.
So I can answer Jacob's video games and taking care of a kid
And Magic.
and magic. Me, I watch an ungodly amount of anime. Like truly,
I too consume anime.
truly an ungodly amount.
Yeah. No, honestly, I've been reading a lot of manga recently. I've been enjoying that.
Yeah, I just like to blankly stare at my screen and forget about all my problems.
That makes sense.
I also play a lot of hockey.
Yeah.
Like I play twice a week. I go do a stick and puck. So I spend a lot of money on hockey. That's really it. What else? Stress. It's stress. Yeah.
Be stressed.
Work is stressful.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Sorry about that.
Hello, back. I'm Dad.
Dad.
You came back from getting milk?
Where's the milk? Damn it!
Up your ass, kitty boy.
You got cigarettes instead.
Yeah. It's more important.
All right. Next question is, where did the butter dog meme come from?
Butter dog.
Butter dog.
Butter dog.
Yeah.
Butter dog. Butter dog.
Yeah, it's butter dog.
Anywho, what is your
Butter
who's your favorite in the server? Second verse, same. Fuck you all. It's Mabel.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't cause any problems.
She really does it. She just vibes. She just vibes. She just vibes, and it's like she just
that's
what it is.
No
Moving on.
no stress.
No stress at all. Moving on. Oh, this one's for me in particular. Let's see. Why? So someone looked to count Jacob. That's me. Why do you go by Jacob on podcast and on Discord when everyone in Meat Space calls you Sir?
Spelled it wrong too.
Hey, by the way, Johnny. Next time Cersei ever sees you, he's gonna kill you.
So to give you an idea, Johnny signed his death warrant because he spelled the name like the name of that one bitch, like the name of that one bitch from Game of Thrones, and that is not how you spell Jacob's actual name. And Jacob fucking hates that shit.
I am filled with rage.
Congratulations, you signed your own death warrant.
SEARCY, you fucking cunt.
Congratulations, Jacob. You've successfully just doxed
If I'm
yourself.
correct, it was because it was a prank by Philip, right?
Oh,
No,
God,
no, it goes back to whenever
there
Jacob was one of my mother's students.
Yeah, and there was
No. Why he goes by Jacob on the podcast?
Oh, no, I just figured, no, he goes by Jacob on the podcast because we were like, yeah, maybe don't go by your last name when it's very kind of unique, which is why I don't go by my last name on the podcast. But also then, like, we'd slip up and call him by his last name. Because in Meat Space, back when Jacob was one of my mother's high school students, he had, how many, was it 2 other
9.
people named Jacob?
There were 2. There were 3 people, including myself, in her class named Jacob. There were like 9 people in the school named Jacob, all in my same grade.
Yeah.
So I was in athletics, and they just called me by my last name.
That's also very common.
It's very common in athletics, but mine just stuck. Even the teacher started calling me it.
Also,
Yeah, because again, when you have 3 Jacobs all in the same class, it becomes a lot easier to call you by your last name than to say like Jacob A, Jacob B, Jacob C, Jacob D.
Yeah, he was just Jersey.
Yeah. And I was just introduced to Jacob as Circe.
That's normally how I introduce
Okay.
myself. Because
Yeah.
that's what everyone calls me. So I'm like, I'm Jacob, and then we'll call me Circe. They're like, what the fuck is that? It's like that's just my fucking Circe.
Yeah. To give you an idea, so Jacob and I knew each other in high school, and then after high school, we didn't talk. We didn't see each other for a couple years, and then when we finally saw each other again, I got his phone number, and I was like, "Hey, by the way, what's your last name?" And I'd been calling him by his last name this entire time, and everyone in the room turns and looks at me and goes, "What do you mean? What's his last name?
All
That
three of
is
us-
his last name."
Lee and Shutter are like, well, this one's dumb as a box of fucking rocks, isn't he?
And I had to explain myself, and I was like, "No, I've literally never heard you called by your first name."
Yeah, no, that was my last name.
Yeah.
I don't mind-
And, like once
yeah.
I said that, it was like, "Oh, okay, no, this makes more sense." But like, yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, I don't mind my first name at all. It just is what it is.
It just doesn't feel
if
right.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's okay. So like me, my last name is a first name. Like
Fuck.
Circe. If you just
Hold on. Don't ever fucking say that to me again about my vape, you fucking hoodlum. Never call that shit chunky in my presence again, you fucker.
like, what if you just what happened if like would you feel comfortable just by randomly starting calling me by my last name?
What, Cameron?
Yeah,
I would hate it.
it's weird.
Oh, what was that one kid whose last name sounded like a first name and whose first name sounded like a last name?
That's me.
No, no, there was a kid at Lockhart. What was his? Like Griffin Connor or something like that. He was in my grade. I think his name was Griffin Connor.
I
And everybody
swear,
looked at that and they were like,
I-
dude, that sounds so backwards.
I wish it was Griffin Peter.
Griffin Peter. Griffin Peter or Peters?
I'm gonna skin the bottom of your souls.
Hey, what's the story behind that
No,
one?
Peter Griffin.
Oh my god. I hate you sometimes. All the time.
Okay.
I remember I have a last name from a friend of mine or from an acquaintance I knew in high school. It's like one of the coolest last names I've ever heard. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to dox the guy by accident. But I'll probably say it once we're done. But like it's a really cool sounding last name.
There was a person from my high school. He had an amazing last name. It was, I believe, Morn Dragon.
Morn Dragon?
Yeah.
Was his
Must have been
last
from
name?
Bastrop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was about to say we didn't have anybody that cool at Cedar Creek.
And then you had like the most like hood last name, Youngblood.
Really?
Yeah. Whitest guy you ever met in your life.
Oh man, 5 seconds from Summer made a song call about that guy's last name.
Dude, have you never heard of the Youngblood arc? It's an entire arc of stories from Fallout Boys.
Really?
And literally, like, if you, yeah, I think it's called the Youngblood arc, and it's a whole series of their music videos that tell a story. But like,
That's pretty cool.
Phoenix, their song Phoenix.
Yeah.
I think that's the first or second in the Youngblood arc.
Huh. All right.
Yeah,
Okay,
which, by the way, Phoenix is one of my favorite songs.
It's a
by
great
them.
fucking song.
Okay, we're moving on.
Yep.
Which faction, 40K or AOS, do you want to see get a new model or range refresh, and what would your ideas be?
Cities of Sigmar.
Okay,
Like, Cities of Sigmar just need some help.
it's already happening.
It needs to happen faster.
OG dwarves.
That's kind of what I was thinking of. Is
No,
just
but
like,
I don't mean cities, but I mean like
Make OG dwarves.
make OG dwarf. Like
Make-
refresh their. That's a grudging.
Make the Carracks great again.
Need my book.
Yeah. But no, honest to God, like everything that's currently included in the Cities of Sigmar, in my personal opinion, we need to like take the Cities of Sigmar and break them back up into their factions.
We just moved the city from here to over there.
No,
That's the motion you were doing.
so I found I was playing. Me and Phil are
excuse
doing
me,
a dwarf
sorry.
campaign on Total War. I'm playing as Thorgrim this time, and I think I have found my favorite like random lord sitting still saying words things ever. And it's Thorgrim, who's the High King, has the book in one. He goes, "I've lost my. Where's my bookmark? I've lost my place." And he gets like really angry about it. He's like, "Where's my bookmark?" Ah! That's essentially the energy of it. I'm like, "Oh wow, that's amazing."
But yeah,
That's a grudging.
That's a grudging.
I honestly
If only he
agree.
could find his place to write it.
Like
Yeah, right?
dwarves Could you not do that after the fact? That's so loud.
Yeah, I didn't think it'd be that loud.
I thought he better bring it up to the mic, go in the mic, and I'm like, ooh, Rice Krispie treats.
If I was to choose one model, just one model, or actually no, flesh eater quartz.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like refresh their models and make them Bretonia.
Yes.
I'm glad that you understood the assignment.
Okay, moving on. What is the best army in lore?
Ooh, I like that.
Oh, that's a
one.
butter dog. That's not an answerable question.
So, well, I like. Okay.
We're gonna keep this to AOS
That has to
because
be an
this
opinion
isn't
thing.
this is an
Yeah,
AOS
there's
podcast.
no
no.
definitive answer.
Yeah. No. Like straight up, that's an opinion thing. Because the cool thing about like Nagash's armies don't need supply lines.
Yeah, because they're dead.
Yeah. Exactly. So like they don't need supply
Doesn't
lines.
that kind of fall into like the what is it like?
Honestly,
like what is it like? Commanders do tactics, but like geniuses do logistics or something.
No. Amateurs do tactics.
Professionals
talk logistics.
But like not needing supply lines, that basically that's logistics. Not having to worry about how to supply your army because they don't fucking need supplies.
I do actually have an answer for this, but it's really a cop-out answer. Mm-hmm. But it is the Grand Alliance of Death or Destruction. It just really depends if their leaders get it together. If Nagash just went, yeah, it's time, the realms would be over.
If the Nagash just took a massive fucking chill pill and stopped stabbing himself in the back.
Yeah.
Or if the orcs got their shit together and they're just like,
No. The entirety of Destruction, because
like Bahamut, ogres, orcs,
Yes.
all that shit.
So
Yeah.
like
Because
basically,
they-
Kragnos
they-
is like
Basically, if Kragnos was like all people of destruction, we are going on a crusade.
yeah.
Yeah. So that
I got you.
That's
Or
my
like if Gork and Morka showed back up again and was like,
It was like, it's time
"Hey,
to
we're gonna
fucking
do some
fuck
shit."
shit
that's my cop-out answer.
I like, honest to God, I think the best army, like actual traditional army, Stormcast. Mm-hmm. Like just straight up.
Yeah. There's a reason why it's the Age of Sigmar now.
Yeah.
I don't really have an answer because for me, what I think is the best army and like the coolest lore is Seraphon, but they don't have any basically, except like the Slan think their troops into existence, and their temples are spaceships and they live in heaven. Like that's basically their lore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like my opinion isn't really valid in this topic, except like Toads, who are basically the embodiment of I think therefore I am.
Yep. Okay, moving on to do you guys like the direction the Dawnbreaker Crusade is taking the cities of Sigmar? I am going to be honest about this. Mm-hmm. But
shit!
my answer is no.
Would you care to elaborate?
I really liked the fantasy vibe of Cities of Sigmar, and they're taking that away.
How so?
I like poofy pants.
Mitchell, I just like 80s parachute pants. Get down on it. Dun, 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 dun. That's Mitchell's dream right there.
But it was like that was Renaissance. Well, they're not.
Yeah, like the
they're
Renaissance era.
They're no. They're no. Blah, 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 blah. They're no longer doing the Renaissance feel, and that kind of like takes it away from me.
Yeah, it kind of jeopardizes their identity to a certain
It kind of
extent.
takes away the last bit of like old world there was.
Yeah.
Because the Empire always had that like Renaissance German flair to it, which was really cool.
But I'm not saying the models are ugly. Those models, the new cities of
They're
Sigmar.
hot.
There's a difference in a model being a good model and a model having life to it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. I'm gonna miss those poofy pants.
But maybe old world's coming back.
Yep.
That's what I got.
Oh no! If Old World's coming back, I'm doing Bretonia and Tomb Kings.
I was like, bro, I'm doing Tomb Kings.
Like those are my two favorite armies.
I think when Old World comes back, I'm doing Tomb Kings and just fucking OG Empire. Here's the thing to really think about, though.
Look, all I'm saying is if we get a Kislev model
Well,
line,
no, that's what I'm going.
like,
For. That's what I'm not going into. Is that Total War 3? CA had to make those models from scratch with help from G-Dubs. Mm-hmm. So when Old World comes back, they have those models and shit.
We're doing Total
that they,
War.
that they could put into Old World for Kislev and Cathay. Like those models exist now. Not like in I don't know if they have molds and shit, but they know what they look like. They're rendered. They know how they fight.
Yeah.
Like they 100% could do it.
Okay. Is there a chance y'all will go to other Warhammer events? We just talked about that. We're planning. We're really wanting to attempt to go to Adepticon.
Yeah.
Where is Adepticon again?
Chicago.
Okay, Chicago. Okay.
I want to go start doing more tournaments. I just have not had the ability. I've been really stressed at work, and because of that, I just get home and I lay on my couch and just blank stare at my TV.
Yeah.
With 10th edition coming in and me getting back into modeling and getting that shit together, I wouldn't mind doing some 40K tournaments.
Yeah.
Probably get my ass handed to me, but I wouldn't mind doing it.
Losing is part of the learning process.
No, I get it. I'm down here for it.
And then there's the whole Terra Conquest scene that's at Game Castle in Austin. Like that is a game I do want to get into.
So much fun.
The models look great. It is slightly expensive. I'm sorry that I have not gotten my models yet. I have not.
I haven't completely built mine either.
I'm right
so
there
like,
with you, bud. So
like I have not had a chance to
I'm
go to
also
Austin.
pretty sure I've misplaced one of my sets of bases. So
Yeah, you can buy those.
yeah.
Or get them 3D printed.
oh, this. Okay, never mind.
Let's see.
Will you guys upload the podcast to YouTube?
I just
Yes, Butterdog. Moving on.
We're
That-
working on it.
yeah.
So I'm gonna spare you the shame from this one. Butterdog. Moving on. But yes,
we're
we will
working
be.
on it.
Oh. Did you just... No, that was Chungus actually asked. We have to... Oh, okay, fine. I get it. Mitchell deleted it as I was going to read it.
Okay, I'm
it's the
curious.
forbidden topic.
Oh, okay.
It was so hurtful.
Yeah. Why is it so hurtful?
Yeah, Chungus, you ain't getting that one, homie. I'm sorry, bud.
Yeah, because people don't have self-control. That's why.
They really don't. Oh, this is for all three of us. Okay, I'll read Phil's. Phil read Mitchell's. Mitchell reads mine. All right, Dragon fucker Phil. Doot. Simple because of your name. Top 5 dragons you'd hit it off with.
If your first answer is not the dragon from Shrek, I am disappointed in you.
Supremely.
I'm gonna just hit the Butterdog on this one and whip it on back.
Weak.
What a cop-out.
Weak.
I will answer at least the first one, and that is the dragon from Shrek.
The fucking dragon from Shrek.
Okay, you're not wrong.
Listen, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you with you got to go with the dragon from Dragon's Dogma. That chonky motherfucker.
Wait, what?
The dragon from Dragon's Dogma.
The fuck is that?
Look it up. That bitch big.
Okay.
Okay, so now you got to read Mitchell's.
I need a phone. I do not have my phone currently up. All right, Bone Daddy Mitchell. Why? Oh man, that grammar.
Yeah.
Why haven't you built the Silent King yet?
So
Yeah. Vindication.
You gave it away.
You got rid of it.
didn't
I'm pretty sure.
no, I still have
You
it.
still have it?
you?
Okay.
Why the fuck haven't you built it yet?
Oh, purely it's out of spite at this point because people won't shut up about
Listen,
it.
listen. Fuck everyone else. I've stopped saying anything, and you're my friend, and I've shut the fuck up about it for a while.
I'm really proud of you, but everybody gives me so much crap.
I will start banning people if they keep bringing up the fucking Silent
the
King.
pure satisfaction I get just by not doing it and pissing people off.
How much time do you need? How much time do you need?
That's a good question.
You gotta figure it the fuck out, Mitchell.
Because like I am going to be building the gash. You don't give me that look. You can open that drawer over there behind the door, and you see my entire Ozen.
The fucking listen to your motherfucker with the hand.
It's like the whole little like.
Whoop that shit over his fucking.
I don't want to hit my mic. But yeah, no, the silent.
Listen, I know you're building the gash. I wish it was sooner, but I know you're building that one because I have threatened acts of great violence upon ye if you haven't.
Yes. I will build him, but at this point, it's just
Look,
it's out of spite.
We just want to see Nagash and 3 Terrorgeists.
I want to see Nagash and 3 Terror guys too.
Then fucking build
I
them.
bought the gash. I ain't buying the fucking terrorists.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta do Xerxes. Top 5 ways. Top 5 best ways you like messing with Mitchell.
Well, if the Schlitterbahn event is to be believed, it's smacking him in the dick.
I think it happened over 3 times.
3 fucking times. He'd walk right by me, and I swing my arms, and I walk, and whap! And I'm like, oh, fuck. At one point, Mitchell just goes, bro, take me out to dinner first.
That was pretty funny.
Well, the Warlord Titan and the Silent King were pretty fucking successful, if I do say so myself.
Warlord Titan win.
I remember one time I posted, like, the Warlord Titan builder link in the fucking chat, and like 30 people built their Warlord Titan and sent it to Mitchell, and he just messaged me, I'm going to harm you emotionally for this. I'm in danger.
Remember, kids, if you do it physically, you get sued for that.
If there's no evidence, there's no lawsuit.
Yep.
For a while, I wouldn't let him claim Hephaestus as his cat. I kept calling it my cat, and he was just the uncle I'm lending him to. That one was pretty funny. The footsies thing is fun. I don't think that's messing with you though, because we're just in an honest to God footsie relationship, and that's fine. The other two, honestly, I'm gonna pass that one to Phil because like it's kind of a combined effort on our part. So Phil, I'm gonna tag you in for the last two.
We don't invite him to video game nights.
He doesn't fucking come to video game nights when we do invite
Exactly.
him. And then he bitches that we don't invite him.
Exactly.
I like the invite energy, okay?
Listen here, you little shit.
No. See, that's why, like, we'll plan them on days where we think he's available. Then we learn when he's actually available, and then we just don't have video game nights on those days.
And then I'm like, hey, let me know when you're available, and I'll try to make time for you. And then he never does.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then when he does do it, it's like, hey, I'm available. And it's like, it is 9:30 on a fucking Monday night, you piece of shit. I'm already playing video games.
Yeah. I'm available that time. I was able to recover emotionally from my traumatic day at work.
All right, let's move on.
Hold on, I remember the fifth one. The Space Marine chapter thing.
Oh, yeah,
There's a
that's
countdown.
right.
You don't know what it's at, but it's there.
That,
It's still there.
That also goes for Space Marine Legions and
Yep.
Horus Heresy.
Yep.
I'm still Night Lords on that one, but yeah, I understand.
I'll believe that when I see the Night Lord.
Yep.
I don't know. Give me a date to like finish building and painting.
Tomorrow. Fine. Okay, no, that's unnecessary.
You know how many staff reports I need to do tomorrow?
That is unnecessary. That is unnecessary. Midnight tonight. Why did you do this to me? Why did you hate me?
To be fair, you did it to yourself.
All right.
Come on, Mitchell. It doesn't take that long to build and paint a singular model.
Oh, painting it. I can get that done in 30 minutes.
Is it the building that's the problem?
I hate building with such a...
Outsource to me, motherfucker.
Actually, I'm thinking about outsourcing the Chungus.
That's fair. He lives nearby, doesn't he?
Yeah, he lives in northern Houston.
We're doxing Chungus by accident.
It's not doxing if... Oh, sorry. It's not doxing if you understand how large Houston is.
That's very fair.
Yeah, that's
He lives in North Houston. That can't be that big. 1/4 of Texas.
Bryan College Station is somewhat considered part of the Houston
Are you
Metroplex.
fucking serious?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Where are you, Houston? Okay, we're in Houston.
Bryan College Station.
Brian Gunn Nation.
That's an hour and 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
Dude, just getting across actual Houston takes the better part of 2 hours.
I remember driving on the fucking highway in Houston. Everyone's going 95. It's raining so fucking hard you can't actually see through the rain with windows.
And I'm
up
having the
glass.
time of my
I'm
life.
just seeing fucking warning flashers so I can see people, and and everyone's just basically listening to fucking driving in the 90s. Everyone's going 95, swerving and hydroplaning and shit. No one can see a fucking thing, and I'm like, oh cool, I'm gonna die today.
Houston is by far my favorite city to drive in the state of Texas. Like, I mean, major cities.
It is the it has
the
the
traffic
most,
is so bad. Like the speeding is so fucking bad that cops will go onto the highway, flip on their lights and sirens, and then just swerve across all 5 lanes of traffic, going like 40 miles an hour, forcing everyone to slam on their brakes and slow down to 40. and then they fuck off after like 5 miles of this, and everyone immediately goes back up to like 100 miles an hour.
The speed limit in Houston is 65 miles per hour.
That's
the
observed
observed speed
suggestion.
The observed speed limit is 90.
Yeah.
And Houston also has, I think it's the most complicated highway system in the world. I know it's at least in America, but it might be in the world.
It's dumb.
I love it. It's
pretty bad.
actually easier to navigate than Dallas.
Isn't Houston the one that has this?
Dallas.
That's accurate.
Yeah,
Dallas sucks.
Dallas sucks a
Yeah.
lot. Dallas is not fun.
Okay. Moving on. Why haven't we done live things yet?
Hey, re-listening to the first anniversary episode in preparation for this one. Why haven't y'all fucking done live shit yet? Will we ever get live shit?
Probably not.
No, we will. I think we said next year we want to try and do it. It's just getting face cammed, getting prepared. I'm getting prepared, and just kind of we've been.
Doing live stuff is
It's harder.
is more difficult. Yeah.
And also, the second year of the podcast was very much us like getting Patreon up, seeing how Patreon was going to run, and just kind of slowly expanding.
This past year has been
social media.
It has been rough for all of
and
us.
it's also been a rough fucking year. So we have plans for the third year, but right now the second year was just more about quality control, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so. I think it's gone good, all things considered. But we do want to, like, correct me if I'm wrong. But we do want to do live stuff. We just want to make sure we do it right, and we're building to that point.
I don't want to do live stuff. I don't want to talk to people.
Can you put away the knife?
I've just been sitting here playing with it.
Oh, I touched your feet. Oh my god, that is coarse.
I need to moisturize and do the
little palm stone.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Pumice.
Well, I actually have like a fear of doing it too much because girlfriend's uncle like did it and like lost a leg because of it. I think he had like diabetes or something like that. He couldn't quite feel it, but he pumice stoned a hole in his foot that got hellaciously infected because of his diabetes, and he had to lose like the leg at the knee. And every time I'm pumicing my foot, I'm just like, I'll sit there, I'm like, scrub, 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 scrub. And I'll just stop because I'm terrified I'm gonna kill myself. So I get real weird about it.
Okay, moving on.
It's fucking dark. How is Snowflake? Snowflake no longer exists. Snowflake is now apparently a burnt slice of toast.
So, Snowflake's name has been changed. She's back. She hasn't been at my place for a hot moment. Because Caroline was only gone for a month. But her name is no longer Snowflake. Medical records for that cat state she be looking like a burnt piece of toast. That is her legal name.
She'd be looking like a burnt piece of toast.
God, Caroline is such a basic white bitch.
She really be. Honestly.
Caroline gonna be listening to this, I'll be like, those motherfuckers.
No. Caroline listens to Cardi B.
I was
Like,
making a joke.
there's no way in hell she's listening to this.
Her
podcast.
favorite thing to do every once in a while is just go, whap, 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 whap.
Yeah, that's not a joke. She is horribly basic white bitch.
Yeah.
Mitchell's
She's
best
also a dive master, so like there's that.
Mitchell's best friend.
One of them.
Discord told you to eat a fat dick. All right, moving on. A year after implementing, we missed one. That last question. Year 1. Do y'all still regret enabling gifts?
No.
Fuck no. Funny as shit.
It's just time of my
It's
life.
fucking great.
Oh, gifts.
Gifts.
I thought you said gifts.
Oh no, yeah, gifts.
Like as in the thing that is given at a birthday
if
party.
you're wrong, it's Jif.
Yeah.
Listen,
This is not peanut butter.
Jif is for peanut butter jelly sandwiches, motherfucker. That's what that's for.
All right, moving on.
A year after implementing the Grand Alliances, are you satisfied with them? Quite so, actually.
Well, yeah, kind of.
So like we want to.
We're still working on it.
We want to do things with them. We did a couple things with the competitions with that, like, because like year 2 was like the trial run for competitions, how we felt about them, things like that. So we did some trial runs with them and how they'd work with the Grand Alliances. We've been doing some work with them. So far, I like how they've been going. Like
Yeah.
the Alliance chat, people share armies for that Alliance in there, and they talk about stuff with the Alliance. So that's cool.
Sometimes some people do role play.
It's cool. No, I think
Yeah, the only role play we really don't allow is nurgling role play. Get that out.
get that shit the fuck out of here. But for how lightly we've implemented it, yeah, I think it's working great. We really want to do more with it, and hopefully next year we'll be able to do more with it. But it's just like we started out with year 2 with like, yeah, we're gonna do a bunch of shit, and then year 2 was like, hey, do you want to get donkey punched in the dick? And we just kind of like, yeah, maybe we'll just take a trial run and like fuck with it next year.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're going with that. We're gonna do more shit with it, but as of right now, I think we're more or less pretty happy with how it is.
So next one, who would win in a fight out of all of you? All of y'all.
I think we're just gonna move on past that one.
Really, I'm not gonna answer, but it also really depends on the setting.
Yeah.
Like, if
All three of us have pros and cons that
like-
need to be met for
like
wins.
I
or
play a
losses.
hockey. If this is happening on the ice, I'm winning. I'm winning.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, Mitchell, if we're on the ice and you tackled me, I would just like absorb you. So, if it had to deal with chainsaws, Phil would murder both of us
Yes.
handily.
Also,
So,
can
yeah.
have the correct safety gear.
We show up chainsaws, Phil up with chainsaw chaps on his arms, chest, and legs. Oh, we're gonna die.
Yeah. So yeah. Other than that, better dog. Moving on. Would you guys ever consider collaborating with other podcasts like Lore Crimes and laying down the lore? If not, any plans of more fantasy-focused discussions? I would
Yeah.
love the idea
down with
of
that.
doing a collaboration.
I think the only issue with collaboration is that like the way we run our podcast is pretty crass. There's not much of a filter, and not many people.
Are comfortable.
I don't think there'd be a lot of podcasts who could sit there with straight face when me and Phil are like, so our upstairs neighbors were hate fucking each other, and not the normal type of hate fucking, but like she walked in on him fucking her mom hate fucking, and I think a lot of other podcasts would be like,
You're saying this?
what?
What?
This is, huh? So like, I would love to do it, but we'd probably have to tame ourselves down a little bit.
Yeah. That and the fact that most other podcasts are fairly scripted. We bring notes to the party, but like,
Whoa.
they're
Yeah,
notes. They're
We
not
used
really-
to bring notes to this party.
You know what? That's fair.
We do research. We jot down notes in our phones or on notepads, depending on how we're feeling that day, and we just have a conversation. Like there's stuff that we have our innate knowledge we naturally know, and also as we've done this podcast, we've gained more generalized knowledge about AOS because like you can't learn one thing without learning other things. That's kind of how it is.
Yeah.
And so we kind of like, cool, like this stuff happened, this stuff happened, this is how this happened, this is how that happened. We talk about this, talk about that, make connections. We just have a general conversation about it, and like that's why, as far as y'all have said, why our episodes seem so fluid is because like we're not scripting, we're not like Philip talks about this and then
Like-
Mitchell talk like sometimes we'll be like hey Mitchell, you take this much because like you specifically focus that down, but it's not like when I'm done with this paragraph Phil takes over. We're more just like let's just talk about shit and like, don't talk over each other.
The
too
best
much
compliments
and-
that we ever receive are the ones that are just. It really just feels like that we're sitting in the room with y'all and just listening to y'all chat.
and that's the point. That
Some
is
of the
honestly,
some of my favorite reviews are the ones where it's like these three guys are like a squirrel on crack and meth at the same time who knows he has 6 nuts but can only find 5 of them, and
he
like,
gotta get
they
that
are
last
absolute
nut.
chaos energy. And I'm like, I realize this is supposed to be a critique and like this is not a compliment, but I'm gonna take it as a compliment.
But
Yes.
that's the
Fuck
thing,
that
though. Is
shit.
that's how conversations with us are natural. Like when me and Phil and Mitchell get on our head ass shit, like it gets fucking wild. That's just who
Oh
we.
my God.
That's who
Okay.
we are. That
Okay.
is. I swear to God, if you talk over me again, I'm gonna fucking donkey punch you in the dick,
Point in case.
motherfucker. But no, like. So that's just who we are as.
Ooh. Oh, this is a new one. Pour it on him. Pour it.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here ready to interrupt him the second he opens his mouth, and he just opens a full bottle of water and just looks at me like, "Are you ready for this?" Oh God.
I will end you.
No, all I was gonna say is that's like that night that Nick brought his friend in
my
who had
God.
no idea what 40K was, and we were playing Dark Tide.
We're like, get ready for a ride, motherfucker.
man.
How is
but
Nick
yeah.
doing? I haven't talked to him in a hot minute.
doing really good.
He's really good. He's
Nice.
fine, yeah, he's doing great. He's probably aggravated that me and Phil are pretty non-committal at playing games a lot.
Yeah.
That is a true statement.
Well, a lot of times he's like, hey, you want to play games on Wednesday and Thursday? And I'm like, I babysit until 9, and you have to work in the morning, so like, meh. And then a lot of times when he wants to play, I'm playing with Steve and Julie. I don't want to just bail on them. It's not that I don't want to play with them. It's just timing.
I understand. There's a lot of new anime episodes that get released, and I'm like, I don't know, watch that.
I watch some anime.
And then I watch YouTube. And then I get lost, and I go, why is it 11:30?
Yeah, that's my problem. Is I'll be on YouTube, and I'm like, I'm going to watch some YouTube shorts for like 30 minutes. Why at 6 o'clock in the morning? Why is the sun up?
Yeah, that's like the first time. Okay, this is one of my favorite memories.
It's one of the big reasons why I don't download TikTok as well.
Whenever Watchdog came out.
YouTube does it enough for me.
Yeah, I know, right? But no, whenever Watchdog. You remember Watchdog?
Yeah.
The first game?
Remember, it was supposed to be so much better than it actually was.
Oh, yeah, no. But I remember whenever Watchdog first came out, I bought it like day one. I convinced my parents to...
let you buy an M-rated game.
Yeah.
It's about hacking, that's it, I promise. You killing people.
Yeah. Well, then by that point in time, I had like one of the Battlefield games, and so they were like, "All right, cool."
Okay, at that point,
Like, yeah, at that point, they didn't care so much. Yeah,
they
they didn't care so much, and I was already like a junior in high school, so I was kind of like, okay, whatever, or sophomore or junior.
Yeah, I can't talk, but I was playing Halo 1 when I was like 8.
Yeah, exactly. But no,
My
so
mom walked on me beating a corpse, so I just watched the blood spray. She's like, "Yeah, my kid's normal."
but no, so I bought that game and I started playing it, and my parents were like, "Okay, cool, you're gonna go to bed," and I was like, "Yeah, cool." And then I just turned my TV down really low because this was the first time I'd ever had a TV in my room as well. And so I turned my TV down really low.
You took a bite from the forbidden fruit, which is playing video games after your parents and think you've gone to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was like, no. And
continue.
then we had to do shit the next day.
No. Before you did, what I'm saying is, my mother found the hack to that. My mom said, "You don't have to be asleep by 10. You have to be in your room by 10." And so I'd go to my room, and I'd fucking play video games all goddamn night on a weekday, and it was the coolest shit ever. And then 6:30 would roll around. I've been in my bed for 45 minutes, not able to go to sleep because I am full-blown slap happy at this point. And my mom's like, wakey, motherfucker. Peeks her head in, sees rings around my eyes so goddamn dark and put a meth head to shame, and she's like, ha, you're fucked today, bitch. Time to go to school early. Dun, 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 dun. Like, oh, it was fucking miserable. And that happened.
You learned your lesson.
Happened once, and I'm like, I think I'll be asleep by 12. In my room at 10, sleep by 12. That works. Mom's like, yeah, I think it does.
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea. And that was all it took. Like that's the hack. Let your kids fuck up themselves. And if you have one of those superhuman children who can function on 30 minutes of sleep, then so be it.
dude, my parents.
That's my issue.
I didn't have video games growing up. My parents would get pissed at me for watching just anime at 4 o'clock in the morning. They just like wake up and they like the curtains didn't really block all the light, so they would open up their curtains and see it into our room. That sounded really bad. But
yeah, your house was like U-shaped though,
yeah,
right?
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So they're like, oh, he masturbating.
so she just barge in. I'm watching Sword Art Online at 5 o'clock in the morning, and she goes, "Give me the laptop," and I'm like, "Why? What does it matter to you? It's Saturday morning.
Why do you care? I don't understand. Finish your story. I'm sorry,
But
Phil.
no, so that game came out and we had shit to do that day. And I was like, "Oh, cool. I'm going to finish this storyline and then I'll go to sleep." And I was playing, and I was enjoying it, and I was loving it, and I was playing it, and I was loving it, and I was enjoying it. Why are the birds chirping? Cuz I had blackout curtains. And look over at my curtains, I'm like,
Oh no.
No.
and I reach over cuz I can reach over when I was sitting, and I can flick one open.
You're like, no, please God, no, please God. And you see something, you're like, oh, I fucked up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, and I reach over and I flick one open, and I'm like, oh, shit. So I quickly went to sleep and got like 30 minutes of sleep.
Yeah, we've all been there.
No, see, my issue is that I am, in fact, one of those superhuman maniacs who's like, 10 minutes of sleep in the past 3 days? Okay, cool. I guess I'm ready to go.
But here's the issue, Phil. You get like manically fucking depressed when you do that. So like you just rationalize
the
a
manic
different
depression
way.
that leads to it.
So
Okay,
what I'm hearing...
Cure the ailment, get rid of the symptoms.
No. This is what I'm hearing. Philosophical debate at Waffle House in Baytown at 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's go.
Yes. Let's do it. I'm down for it.
You give me so much shit for bringing up the Silent King and whatnot. but you've been fucking with me for that one for longer. And I've never done anything to you about it, but that shit's gonna change. You bring that fucking thing up one more time, you curly-haired fuck. I swear by the old gods and the new, you will regret your decision. Keep your fucking mouth shut.
Keep Waffle House's name out of your fucking
What's
mouth.
his name out of your fucking mouth?
Also, nice little Game of Thrones reference in there. Next question.
Okay, go moving on.
Moving on up, rolling on out.
When are you guys gonna have me on the podcast?
Who was that?
Allie.
In
No,
the future.
no, we skipped one. We skipped one.
Oh.
We also didn't completely answer the top one about collaborating. We didn't actually finish that answer because we spent it off.
Shit.
So let's circle back and finish the first question.
We need to stop being lazy and just start asking.
Yeah, really.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Like, we're not opposed to it.
The main thing, as long as it doesn't compromise our like fluidity and how we have our conversations and how we structure our podcast, like we can moderate ourselves a little bit, but as long as it doesn't turn us into like lecturing, then yeah, I'd be all for it.
Yeah.
Next question. What are your favorite models in AOS? Is it still the same answers you gave in the first Q&A?
First of all, how am I-
or has anything been released or announced that has changed your opinions?
How am I supposed to remember what I said a year
You are
ago?
vastly overestimating our abilities. I've slept a lot since then.
Exactly. But my favorite models, in terms of like actual like big models, is still going to be Nagash and Alariel. But I don't have Alariel anymore.
Favorite models in terms of big mod. Oh yeah, you sold her.
Traded her for a Stormcast army that
Yeah.
was worth more money.
In terms of big models, my favorite models are probably gonna be Croak and the Eidolon of
The
Eidolon.
the guy with the wave for
the
a
guy
cape.
with the wave for a cape. That one.
Yeah.
I'm going to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. So I'm gonna answer the question without me.
Yeah. My favorite model, probably Karazé the Scarred.
Beautiful
figure.
model. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful model.
And also, excuse me,
This is what happens when you drink beer. 3 times?
and soda. You remember I had a bunch of soda earlier,
oh,
too.
God. That's why I'm drinking
Yeah.
wine.
Um,
Also, red wine drunk me is great drunk me.
Yndrasta. I really like Yndrasta, too.
That is a really nice model.
Yeah.
I really do like that one.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy that one. All right, next question.
No, oh, God, let me turn my phone back on. That's when we go, when are you guys going to have me on the podcast?
At some point in the future.
Butter dog. Moving on.
Don't die.
My cough is much better. It's not like consistent, and it's really nice.
Wait. You know what? Just move on.
Okay.
I don't want to unpack that one.
You guys stopped introducing yourselves in the intro. Is this because you assumed people would have listened to
No, we got lazy for a little bit, but then we started doing it again.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we got late. We forgot.
Same tomato, kind of.
Yeah. I think I'm the only one with like the very distinct voice.
Yeah, I didn't realize how I didn't realize that people had such an issue distinguishing between me and Jacob.
Which to me, I listen to y'all and like, it's easy for me.
Yeah, but you've also known us for
Yeah.
you know, let's see here, 5 years now. You've known me for 10.
Oh my God, has it been 10?
Yeah, because we met each other junior year of high school. Well, we started talking to each other junior year of high school. We didn't actually meet till senior year.
We played a lot of War Thunder.
Yeah, we
Remember
did.
how much we feared lags?
Oh my God. Or how remember the in World of Warships the French battleship, the premium one that I got?
The Dunker Q.
Yes, the Dunker Q that had like a 35% fire rate on its shells when it first came out, and
That
was
was
a
just-
fucking menace.
So much fun. Yes.
Oh yeah. But no, and then I remember we would play Zeros.
Because they're the best damn turn fighters in the game.
Yeah, and then we'd fucking run circles around P-40 pilots.
Yeah. So we've known each other for a long period of time.
Yeah, and I've known I technically met Jacob at the same time, so I've known both of them 10 years, but you've known Jacob for about 5 now.
I met him
It would have been
in
2017.
either 2016, 2017. Yes.
Yeah, it would have been 2017 because that's when he moved back to town.
It's so weird walking in that house and be like, I'm here. James, what the hell? Because I've known James the longest.
Yeah.
I used to wheelchair him all the way to the nurse's office in 2nd grade.
Oh, man. But yeah.
So yeah, I guess moving on. Would you rather fight 50 grot-sized trolls or 1 troll-sized grot?
50 rat-sized trolls. This is assuming that I have access to, like, my firearms. Like, I'd rather take out the
if
50
it was
grot-sized trolls.
hand-to-hand combat. If grots are
They're like 2 or 3 feet tall.
2 or 3 feet and trolls are absolutely stupid. That's a good one. Can you a 10-foot grot is absolutely horrendous sight.
Yeah. Well, also because grots are pretty conniving.
I think I would go with 50
The trolls.
grot-side trolls.
Yeah. That's what I would go with.
Yeah.
I'm back. 50 grot-sized trolls. Because
Yeah,
I
that's the conclusion
may
we came to.
die, but I can yeet some fucking trolls before I go, and that's true happiness.
Yep.
Drop kicking a troll over a fence, punting one as hard as you possibly can, beating trolls with other trolls.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Listen, sometimes you just gotta beat a motherfucker with another motherfucker. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, moving on.
It's clear you guys don't care for Archeon. What could GW do to change him in such a way that you guys would grow to like the Everchosen?
Never.
Yeah.
He's done too much. Die. He would need to die.
Yeah. So
Honestly, there needs to be a new Everchosen.
Yeah, he would need to die.
Yeah. Really, what
Like, and the reason... Oh, sorry. Bitch. I fucking caught myself.
Yeah, the whole thing about Archeon is that he's supposed to be this big, bad, evil character. But at this point, like, literally, he's setting up to transcend into chaos godhood. And, like, you can't... Like, the amount of fucked up shit you gotta do and how much bullshit he gets away with in lore.
It's such a Mary Sue character.
He's a Mary Sue.
is.
Point fucking blank. He's a Mary Sue. And the thing is, he's not even like... He's not even trying to ascend to godhood and like the way that most people think is they try to write him as this character who's evil but not evil because he's like, oh, he hates the gods and he the reason why he blew up the end time was to kill all gods and he wants to lead humanity into a new world where everyone survives on their own strength and intelligence and they're not beholden to gods and yada yada. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but you also kill babies and shit. So like, I don't really think anything you say fucking matters.
Yeah.
At fucking all. And, like, he's just been the big unstoppable bad in fantasy, and he's the big unstoppable fucking bad in AOS every single fucking time. And it's just, like Sigmar is different, because we didn't have him in fantasy. We've only had him in AOS.
And he loses.
And he loses all the fucking time!
Yeah.
And because we all know Archeon can't fucking beat Sigmar. Like, I don't give a fuck what anyone says, what like logic, air quotes, you'll throw at me. Sigmar can fucking beat Archeon. He just can. It'll be a tough fight, but he can do it.
Look, all
so
I'm
it's
saying
like,
is...
he throws the hammer and Archeon makes the portal and the hammer goes away. And it's like, you think he can't fucking lose. And even when he loses, he doesn't really lose.
Yeah.
Like, the one loss he had was when he went into into Olgu to go fuck with the Shadow Elves, and his army got killed, and he was like, oh, the Shadow Elves are weird, so I'm just gonna, like... watch them and then go get them later, and it's like, oh cool, so his defeats aren't even fucking defeats.
Yeah.
Like when Sigmar gets his ass kicked, Sigmar's like, fuck, I got my ass kicked. And Archeon loses, the Lord's like, oh, he's just gonna watch and wait for the next opportunity and he can go dunk his balls in Varanite and he's gonna be A-okay. And it's like, just fucking lose, take it on the chin like a fucking man and lose. Just do it.
Yeah. The other big
aggravating.
That's what
the
it
other
would
big
take.
thing about Archeon is like people are like, oh yeah, well Archeon can beat Sigmar and things like that, and it's like, no, dude, Sigmar chunked Galmaraz at him, and literally Archeon was like, "Oh, that's a fucking problem. I need to get that the fuck out of here," and then promptly fucked off.
He 100% hit Sigmar with that, missed me with that gay shit, but it was also like, if I get hit by that gay shit, I'm gonna die.
Also,
Yeah.
like, don't forget, like, after he lost Galmaraz, he still fought. They were just a losing battle at that point.
Well, yeah, because the problem with Sigmar's power is a lot of his godly power is tied to his hammer.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's unlike...
Big Thor energy.
Unlike, Nagash. I don't know how much from Nagash's power is tied up in his tomes and shit.
They're really not.
Yeah, the big
Okay,
thing about
okay,
Nagash
cool.
is
Then unlike Nagash, who is just powerful because of what he's done to himself and his innate magical knowledge, if Sigmar doesn't have his hammer, he's basically fighting at half capacity. Like, you can catch Nagash naked and afraid, and he's like, cool, I can still disintegrate you with my magic. You catch Sigmar without his hammer, he's like, man, I'm a super beefed up demigod, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you, but like, we've seen demigods die before.
Yep.
It's his hammer, him and his hammer, that is what makes him a true god.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
But to answer your question, no, fuck Archeon. I only like him if he's dead. Only good Archeon's a dead Archeon.
yeah.
What's the weirdest that guy experience y'all had?
Oh man. Okay. There's this dude. I have no issue doxing the shit out of this guy. There's this dude out in Bastrop who plays Blood Angels.
Yeah. I have a story. He's not only a that guy story, but it's the cut guy.
Oh.
Yeah,
that
I'll
guy.
tell that one. You go first. You go first.
Yeah.
Mitch, you better come up with the story because I got one. Phil got one, so you gotta have.
Okay, so there's this dude out in Bastrop who plays Blood Angels, and one of our good friends, Brandon, almost stopped playing 40k because of this dude.
Yep. I didn't know he almost stopped. I know
That
he
was his first
I know
opponent.
he was pissed.
That was his first opponent.
Damn.
Yeah, and then but that was during the whole league that Mitchell set up, and then he started playing other people and was like, oh no, I actually kind of enjoy this.
It's just that one guy fucking sucked.
Yeah. No, so there's this guy, he played Blood Angels, and literally his whole shtick is that he,
Well, he cheated, like point blank, right?
yeah, no, he cheats just horribly. So what he'll do is
And
he'll
what's
take...
shitty, he's not even good at cheating, from what I've heard. He's shitty at cheating.
He truly believes his rules work in a certain way when they don't.
Yeah.
Well,
and then he also cheats.
Well, he'd also do the same. He'd like roll dice fast as fuck, so he could be like, "Oh, boom sixes, boom sixes, boom sixes," and like that's all he would do. And he was going so fast that he was basically counting on people not wanting to create a scene and be like, "No, fucking re-roll that because I didn't see it. I don't trust you because people don't want to do that in public."
Mm-hmm.
And he would roll super fast and be like, "Oh, it was 9 6s. I don't worry, I checked." It's like,
Yeah, he rolled
Was
nine,
it, though?
He'd roll 9 dice and be like, oh yeah, that's 9 6s, and everybody would be like, are you sure about that? And he's like, yeah. Rolling again. Oh look, that's 9 more 6s, and it's like,
that's statistically improbable.
Oh yeah. But no, so one thing that he does is he'll take like Smash Captains and he'll slap like 2 Warlord traits and 3 relics on them.
And if you don't know the game that well,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and
now,
then
to be
he'll
fair, I
intentionally-
did this by accident with a named character facing Mitchell because I didn't know better. But I didn't. This is back when I was learning, and I didn't know that named characters couldn't get relics because they had their own relics.
is that reason why that I could
I've
never...
already told you this. Don't even act like this is new fucking knowledge. I was using Adrax Agante, and
I remember this.
And his thing is like he hit one of his things is he has a cloak, I think. It's either his hammer. No, I think it's his cloak. It's like what counts as like relic. He has a beefy hammer, but he also has a cloak that negates one of all damage to a minimum of 1, as if he was a dreadnought.
Yeah.
And then I would slap an additional relic on him that made it harder to wound him. So I would throw him against Mitchell, and Mitchell like could not fucking kill this guy. And this is back in 9th editions, and like the one time Adrax ever got killed by him. Why the fuck do you care? The one time Mitchell actually fucking killed him, I slapped him with that fiery renewable shit that salamanders can do. Roll to die, got a 3-up, and he rezzed with like half his wounds. And Mitchell was like, "No!" Because then I promptly charged him on an 8-inch charge and fucking annihilated his warlord. But I didn't know better.
Yeah.
And then I learned, I was like, oh my god, Mitchell, I am so sorry. And I stripped those wins from my count. I was actually behind Mitchell on wins for a while because of that. But then I like kind of started playing kind of sweaty with Melta to get back to par.
Yeah.
But that was legal sweat.
But that was blood, sweat, and tears.
That was blood,
Thank you very
sweat, and
much.
tears. Thank you very much. But this guy, like, he would just 100% be like, no, I'm putting 3, and I'm going to bank on them not knowing what. Oh, so he would play new players then, and bank on them not having knowledge.
Brandon
And
literally,
fucking
the
annihilate
first
them.
time Brandon ever played, he played against this dude. His name's like Daniel something fuckface.
We have no high value for that man.
Yeah,
so.
no. But no, like,
Wouldn't piss him if he was on fire.
yeah, no. So
If I had a gun with 2 bullets, I had a gun with 2 bullets, and you and Hitler were standing in front of me, I'd shoot you twice.
Yeah, exactly. But no, so this dude, his whole thing was he would just play super hyper aggro, like speed armies. Like Blood Angels, Flesh Terrors.
It was the Blood Angels blunder. He would just play like the sanguine guard and shit.
Yep.
And he would just charge you, and it would be the Blood Angels. Yeah, because who's the one dude from Bastrop who's like super fucking nice, loves teaching people the game. And
David?
Was it David?
David is so good at the game, he doesn't know how to hold back.
Yeah.
But he's the nicest guy you ever
he's
played.
He's a great fucking dude. I played against him once, and he used the Blood Angels blunder and fucking annihilated me.
But you felt good about it, right?
With a smile.
You felt good about it.
Great fucking guy. And I wasn't playing super smart because I was like, fuck it. Like, I know I'm not going to win. Like, it got top turn 2, and I'm like, I'm not winning this.
Yeah, no.
Like, I did some good plays, did what I could, but he fucking annihilated me. But he was a super cool guy about it and taught me some shit, and it was super fun. Like, but he was playing the Blood Angels blunder. That shit's aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so this guy though, he would do the Blood Angels blender, and then he would take like a Smash Captain, slap like 3 fucking relics on him, or he'd take a Sergeant and slap a relic on him that the Sergeant shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And then he'd forge a bunch of his dice rolls, or fib on a bunch of his dice rolls, and he actually did that in tournament. The last tournament they held in Bastrop.
Didn't they catch him?
I don't remember, but the guy I was talking to in Bastrop at the time, because I was talking to Aaron, and a random guy walked in. We just struck up a conversation. He was like, "Yeah, I'm actually competing in the tournament right now," and I was like, "Oh no shit! Like, cool, that's awesome. By the way, watch out for this Flesh Terrors player." And he's like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "There's this one Flesh Terrors player named Daniel, and like he cheats." And he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And I was like, "No, literally everyone here knows it. Like, ask literally anyone here." And he was like, "That was literally my first game today." And I got annihilated. And then it turned out the guy was also lying on his secondaries. He was lying about maxing out his secondaries. Yeah. Because that's the other thing he does at tournaments is he'll do secondaries, and then he'll lie about how many times he's completed those secondaries. And he'll just give himself free points, and he just counts on the fact that people don't keep track of it. Because what he'll do is he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I totally forgot, but I completed this secondary back on turn 2, and it'll be like bottom of turn 5. And so he'll give himself an extra like 3 points.
And it's like, motherfucker, what?
Yeah, it's like, no, you should have marked that down turn 2. You forgot about it? Cool. Too bad. Get over it.
This is now a Magic the Gathering game, and that was a May, so you have missed your trigger, my good friend.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that's probably the worst that guy that I've ever seen. The other big one that we have. This wasn't really a that guy because he didn't play any games. So it was just a really fucking weird encounter we had.
I want to explain because I had an interaction with that guy first that day.
With my guy or his guy?
Your guy.
Yeah, the guy we're talking about.
The cut guy, yeah.
Yeah, because he came to 602 when I was working there.
Yeah.
And he met the guy there.
I was there just having a great lunch with my boy Abram.
Having some really shitty fish and chips.
No,
that was one of the shitty burgers I made him.
They actually had decent etouffee.
Etouffee.
Like pretty decent. Like,
yeah. No, like, actually, the pasta and seafood was actually pretty decent there.
Good.
So it was me and my boy Abram just hanging out during lunch because we're just trying to kill time from work. And this guy just was playing the saxophone
poorly,
and then he walked up and he goes to me. He walks up to me and just goes, "I appreciate your existence. I don't think you truly understand how much I appreciate your existence. I also declare war on like Palestine or whatever." Now this is what what are you talking about?
That conversation got wild.
Wait a minute. You took this from like a, hey,
that feels kind of good. Oh God, that's horrifically political.
You think I'm Jewish? I understand. Abram looks Jewish as well, and I'm just like, oh, this is like high school all over again.
Which is really fucking funny because Mitchell does not look Jewish. I mean, Mitchell looks really Jewish with his curly hair, but he is not Jewish. I do not look Jewish at all, and I am like a fourth.
Yeah.
Okay. Ethnic Jew, not religious Jew.
Ethnic Jew, not religious. I'm a horrible Jew. But yeah, if we're do hockey religious, but no, I'm ethnically.
Yeah, you like bacon way too much to be Jewish.
On my mother's side. But yeah, no, I'm Jewish on my mom's side. But I just always found that fucking hilarious because Mitchell found out, he was like, "Are you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And you look a lot more than I do, my friend.
Yeah, I look English, very English.
But no,
no Welsh. I look very Welsh.
Don't fucking look at me.
So-
I wouldn't know.
so
Bitch, I've lived in Texas most of my life.
So I'm playing a game with Brandon, and it is the same Brandon that played the David guy that Phil was talking about. Super cool dude. And
No. David's the cool guy. Daniel's the piece of shit.
not Daniel. Fuck Brandon. I was playing Brandon.
Yeah, no.
Salamander dude.
But you said Brandon was playing that David
Sorry,
guy. But
sorry.
yeah, no.
I was playing against Brandon, who was the dude that played David when he I thought Brandon said he played David his first game ever.
No, Daniel was his first game ever. David was was the first game he actually played and learned.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Is
Okay,
Brandon
gotcha,
was
yeah,
the guy who played against Daniel and got his ass kicked because Daniel's fucking
Yeah, you
cheater.
just kept saying David.
Sorry, I fucked it up, but it was the same dude. He's a super cool fucking dude. Love Brandon to death.
Brandon's fucking awesome. He's
And-
now doing
and-
a bunch of GTs all across Central Texas.
Oh yeah, he's having a fucking blast. But
Yeah.
we were both playing Salamanders, and this was the game for the tournament Mitchell had set up, and we're just sitting there playing, having a blast. And this dude sits down, and once again, this isn't really a that guy story. This is just more of a like weird,
Really fucking weird.
guy in general, I guess. But we're
That
playing.
Homeboy was off his rocker.
But we're playing. And, like, every time either me or Brandon would do anything, he'd be like, "Oh, my God, that's fucking amazing." And, like, freaking the fuck out. And that's not...
I'm here, too, by the way.
Yeah, and
I'm watching
and
the
Phil's
game.
up, but he's just watching. He's just chilling and watching. This dude's, like, freaking the fuck out. And that's fine. Like, he's excited about the game. That's cool. Like, I had no problem with that at the time. It was a little weird, but, like, whatever. He's having a good time. It's fine. And then I had rolled an attack, and I think I'd rolled 3 die, and I got trip
No, you
sixes.
rolled 4 die and you got trip 6s.
Okay, I rolled 4 dice. I got trip 6s, and he like freaks the fuck out over. He's like, and he starts like slapping Phil on the arm. Like, "Oh man, you ever seen that? You ever seen that happen? Ever seen that happen?" And Phil's like, "Yeah, it happens occasionally. Like it's good for it. It's a good fucking roll, but it happens every now and then." But he's not being really effusive about his answers. The dude's like so the dude like hits Phil again. He goes, "Hey, I fucking asked you if you'd seen that before." And Phil's like,
No. So what it was is he was like, "Hey, how often does that happen?" And I just kind of gave a non-committal, like, "Oh, well, like it happens, you know, it happens now and then. Like it's not super common, but like,
Yeah.
you play enough games, you're gonna see it."
pretty chill about it.
Yeah. And he turns to me, looks me dead in the eye, and goes, "No, I asked you how many fucking times you'd seen, or how often this fucking happens. Like, expect me to give him fucking statistics." And I just kind of turn and look at the guy, and I'm like,
No, it's like his Phil. He's like, "It happens occasionally," and then just fucks off. And me and Brandon are like, what the fuck just happened? So we're like, okay, that's weird, but since Phil left, he left his seat. So the dude sits down. And me and Brown are like, "Oh God, please, no." But we just keep playing the game because we're trying to be here super fucking long, and like this for tournaments, we keep on playing the game.
And Mitchell, this was
playing.
when your brother Matthew came down to visit.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so he saw all this
Matthew
shit too.
was there. Yeah.
And Matthew was just as confused.
So we're just playing the fucking game, and the dude's pretty quiet. And then out of nowhere, the dude turns to me and goes, man, I can't believe like that cuck over there did that. And I was like, "Oh man, I have to get in a fight now because Philip's my best friend. Fuck, God, why can't I just hate him? Fuck you, Philip. Why would you do this to me, you piece of shit? You died a hole. Fuck."
Love you.
So I turn left, and I'm like, "I have known said cuck since 11th grade. He is one of my closest friends, and I shall challenge thee to a duel should thy bespeech his good name again, sir." And so I'm like, that's my fucking friend. So obviously I wasn't like that, but that's how I felt inside.
I think your exact words afterwards that you told me were like, you turned and looked at the guy and you were like, "Excuse you?
No,
That's my fucking
yeah,
best
yeah,
friend.
what I- no.
You want to keep saying that shit, we're going to have a fucking issue."
What I had said was that's kind of what I said. What I had said was, I turned around, I said, "That guy's one of my best friends. I've known him for years. Don't fucking say that shit around me again. You want to fucking say shit like that? You go in the fucking corner where I can't hear you. If I hear you say it again, me and you are gonna have fucking problems." And then Brandon's like, "Yeah, man, that's not how you fucking act in this shop. It's not how you fucking make friends." And he's like,
And to give
"I'm
you an
not trying
idea-
to make friends." I'm like, "I don't give a fuck what you're trying to make. Don't say that shit around me."
To give you an idea, Brandon, he's a little shorter than the rest of us. He looks like a fucking power lifter.
That man is a freight train.
That-
Listen,
that man is built like a
motherfucker
fucking
looks like a
100-year-old
space
oak
marine
tree.
if a space marine was a normal human height. Like he is fucking.
No.
He's fucking. He's
big.
You're wrong. He's a squat.
He's a squat. No, he's not that short.
He's like 5'8".
He's a normal. He's of average height. He's just really fucking built.
In the eyes of a woman, he's a squat.
Wow.
Why you gotta do him
Wow.
dirty like that? God
I'm
damn,
telling him you
Mitchell.
said that.
Yeah, really.
Brandon Mitchell said a thing. But I'm pretty, like, I'm taller than average, but Brandon is, like, more built than average, so we're both just like, listen, you little motherfucker. And so he mumbles something, and, like, he fucks off. So we keep playing, and me and Brandon are like, what the fuck was that? And then he comes back, and then he came back, and he sits back down, and I'm like, oh, God, please, are you punishing me for not being a Christian? Is that what's happening right now? So I'm like, hello, Brandon.
Like, did I pray in Jewish too much or too little?
I know. I'm like, hello, Brandon. Would you like a cup of water? And he's like, yes, I would love a cup of water. I'm like, I'm going to go get us both cups of water. And I get up and I go to the front of the shop where Phil and Jay are sitting, and I'm like, Jay, help! I go there and I'm like, listen, Jay, like, this dude over there, and like, he was talking shit about Phil, and we told him off, and he's like, he's being really fucking weird, and he's making it really hard for me and Brandon to play the game. I'm not trying to start problems, but like, homeboy needs to go. And Jay's like, I'll handle it. So I get my water, because I'm not a liar.
You a Hydra homie, that's what you are.
And I sit down and I'm like, here's your water, Brandon. And I'm like, mentally, I'm like, Jay is coming to the rescue. So Jay saunters over and sits right next to them. And he's like, hi, friend, how are you doing today? And basically tells him politely to fuck off. And so then the dude kind of gets up and wanders off. And Jay goes back to the hill with Phil. And we keep playing. Yeah, and I would like to say that's when the story ends, but it's not. So Phil, I'm going to let you tell this part of the story.
Jay and I are sitting at the front of the store, and we're just shooting the shit. Jay's the store manager. He's been on the podcast before. You know him.
Super cool dude.
Yeah, and so we're sitting there shooting the shit about something. Matthew's just kind of standing there listening to us shoot the shit because we're waiting for Mitchell to get off work so we can go do shit. And, yeah, this dude just walks over, interrupts, and just goes, hey, mate, I just wanted to apologize for calling you a cuck. I realize you didn't hear me call you that, but I feel like I need to apologize for having said it anyway. And I just sit at me, Matthew, and Jay all just sit there and look at this dude like shell-shocked. We're all just like...
They're just like... Donghua.
Yeah, we're just
Which is really funny, because like in almost any other circumstance, that would be very commendable. Like, hey, I was talking shit about you, and I feel bad. That's not right. I want to apologize. But it's like the way he went about doing it. He was like interrupting. Hey, I want to say something, and it's like, and he was like really close to Phil, and me and Brandon are just like, what's going on in there? Because we're like, oh man, I'm making the short cock. We're like, oh fuck. So we're like, oh no.
Yeah, so I'm just sitting there shell-shocked because I had no idea this guy had said any of this shit. And so I'm just
I hadn't told Phil because I wasn't trying to start problems, and I'm not trying to like hog like, oh Phil, look how I defended you. So I just didn't fucking say anything.
Yeah, and I was so fucking blindsided by this shit. I was just like, oh, okay, cool. And I think that's basically what I said.
I remember correctly when I talked to you about it later. You're like, I was so filled with rage that I took every ounce of energy not to hit him with a chair.
Yeah, no, because like at first I was just kind of like blindsided, and then like the longer I sat there, my brain was like, am I surprised? Or am I starting a fist fight in Jay's shop? And I was like, no, I like Jay. I'm not going to make him write a fucking police report in the middle of the shop.
Jay is a jewel to this world.
Yeah, Jay is a fucking gift. Now I was like, I'm not going to make Jay go through that shit.
Jay is a fucking champion amongst men, and we are not here to make his life harder.
Yeah, and so I'm just like, okay. Well, sure. Thanks for apologizing. And the dude gets this big old goofy smile on his face and fucks off. And I just turned to Jay and I'm like, what the fuck was that?
And I would like to say that's where the story ends, but it's not. So back to me and Brandon. We're almost at the end of the game. And at this point, we're speed playing because we want to get the fuck out because the dude's still there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, basically I'm like, knight to D4. Like, intercessors, go for it, rolling for advance. Cool, they advance, they have flamers. Hitting you with flamers, rolling, 6 attack, go, do this, command boy, blah, blah, blah. There is no joy in this game. There is nothing but speed. Yeah. We're trying to get this shit done. And then the dude just starts doing aggressively loud push-ups in the corner of the shop. And I'm not talking like, oh man, this is hard. Oh god, the push-up. It's like, like a fucking moose getting fucking assaulted by a rhino.
We legitimately thought he was watching porn at first, and then we realized that there wasn't any like video playing. We were like, where the fuck is he? And then we realized he's on the ground,
like aggressive push-ups. Like making those noises and shit. We're just like, oh god, can one of us just lose this game? at one point, I'm like, Brandon, I'll take the L. Do you want to end? He's like, nah, man, this is the tournament. We can't do that. And I'm like, please, just let me lose.
Just let me die. Yeah, this was before Brandon realized that just taking the fat L was acceptable.
So then now me and Brandon are playing so fast, we're like missing whole units and like phases. At one point I was like, cool, shooting phase done, I end. And Brandon's like, what about your melee? I'm like, fucking go. Like, not recording command pointer. We're just like, grr! So, and then he like goes in the corner of the shop and pulls out a massive Nerf gun out of fucking God knows
that
where.
was Jay's.
It was Jay's?
Yeah, Jay was painting up one of those big ass fucking Nerf guns for his girlfriend.
Oh my God.
And so, like, the dude had picked it up
it
early in
was.
the
I
day
forgot
to admire
about
it, and he was looking at it, and Jay was talking to him about it, and he was like, yeah, like, this is something I do as a hobby, because he painted it up to look really fucking nice. And then the dude just starts strutting around
patrolling the shop with it. And I think, against our better judgment, I think me or Brandon or maybe it was Jay was like, hey man, what are you doing with that gun? He's like, oh man, I'm just patrolling the shop. You never know when something's gonna happen.
It was Jay.
Oh,
Because
Jay?
Jay was like, what the fuck is that guy doing with my gun?
Me and Brandon are like, oh my God, no! And Phil's like, hey, I'm gonna head out. And I'm like, Phil, don't leave me, please. I need emotional support from somebody.
Yeah, so I sit down at the table again and watch them continue playing.
There was no love in that game.
Yeah, no, it was just speed rounds.
Anyone who's ever played a loveless game of 40K, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
And Jay, if there's a game that's getting ready to wrap up, he's willing to stay a little later. He'll close down the front of the shop and leave the back of the shop open. And so their game was about to wrap up, but it was closing time. So Jay locks up the shop, the front of the shop, shuts off the lights, and comes and sits in the back with us. And literally, at this table that we're playing at, me and Jay sit down and are taking up the entire edge of the table, watching this game unfold. And we're like, how close are y'all to being done? And they're like, and Brandon's like, 15, maybe 20 minutes. And Jay's like, cool. And this other dude is still hanging out. And he's just like watching over mine and Jay's shoulder. And he's like, oh shit, what's going on? And Jay and I are talking to him. But we are very clearly like this is the demilitarized zone. You will not pass.
They are man spreading like fucking pros. Like nothing sits here but us. We need exactly 3 feet of space for our cock and balls. That's just how it's going to be for this particular instance of time and space. And you cannot sit here, my good sir. And, yeah, it was something. It was fucking miserable.
So, yeah.
It was funny as shit after the fact when I told everyone I knew because it was funny as fuck. And then, Phil's nickname for about a month was Cuck.
Fuck you.
But, like, nah, at the time, I was like, man, I don't want to have a fist fight with this dude. But if he pops off the mouth again, I'm, like, contractually obligated to punch this dude in the face.
It's like, is this World War I?
So, yeah, it was awful. It was awful.
It fucking sucked.
Yeah, it fucking sucked. I didn't go to the shop for a while after that. I'm like, man, I can't do that shit again. Like, I just can't do it.
No, and then, like, 2 days later, the guy got arrested.
Yeah, fucking go figure.
In the shop.
No, it was in a bar, I thought.
So, like, technically he was arrested in the shop, but also, like, technically Zach didn't work there at the time. So, like, technically nothing happened.
Gotcha, moving forward. What's your story, Mitchell?
All the games I've played have been really nice. I don't have a bad guy.
Shame him. He's had no bad experience. Ting ting.
No.
Shame.
He is that guy. Remember, he gave all of his stuff extra AP whenever he was playing me the first time we played AOS?
Oh, rip.
Oh my God. Okay.
It wasn't extra AP. I was doing.
Yes, it was.
You
It was
don't.
extra AP and extra damage.
No. I remember this conversation. Me and Phil were going through the Bastrop Whataburger, and he was telling this game about how he got fucking stomped by Mitchell's Cruel Boys. He's like, man, these fucking Cruel Boys have like all this AP and yada yada. And I'm like, I read Mitchell's book. That doesn't sound right. Wahapedia at the time. So Phil's like, fuck Mitchell, fuck his orcs, fuck that guy, hope he gets cancer, fuck his dogs. I'm like, yeah, interesting. Hey, Phil, what extra AP? And Phil takes the phone, reads it. While he's reading it, the Whataburger lady is like, welcome to Whataburger, we're going to get you. And Phil just goes, that son of a bitch. And then he fucking calls Mitchell. He's like, I'll take a number 2. Brrring, calls Mitchell. Mitchell's like, hey, what's up? And Phil goes, you motherfucker. And it's just like, what did I do? What did I do? And Phil's like, you shouldn't have won that game. Because I think he was giving him extra AP, and then he was doing extra shit on 6s he shouldn't have been doing as well.
Yeah.
It was not my intention.
RTFR, read the fucking rules. No, RTFB, read your fucking battle tome. But yeah, so Mitchell's story was he was that guy, and it was funny as shit. Just that, welcome to Whataburger, that motherfucker, and then she's just like, what? And I'm like, don't worry, Whataburger lady, it's not your fault.
Okay.
So yeah, that was funny.
Moving on, I guess.
Do you need to take a breather? Here, let me read a couple questions for you. You seem emotionally like compromised just a bit. So let me take the next one for everybody. Oh God! Has Mitchell successfully acquired every chapter of Space Marines yet?
Not yet.
Butter dog.
Not yet.
Wrong. I have not had Grey Knights.
Like I said, not yet.
Oh my God! Please tell me you're joking, because that means you've had like a lot more chapters than I thought you have, and that number you don't know is about to drastically decrease.
Yeah, that's like 600 known chapters.
That is a joke.
Butter dog. That's a butter dog. Next question. God, fuck, Mitchell. What is your favorite Space Marine chapter, and why are orcs superior? This is a multi-question statement, so
First of all, orcs are not superior.
Thank you.
thank you.
Second, favorite Space Marine chapter is actually the Crimson Fists.
Why don't you fucking play them then, Mitchell?
I hate painting Space Marines with a burning passion.
Then pay
Okay,
someone
no,
else
that's
to
kinda
do
valid.
it.
Like
Get a girlfriend who's good at painting and make her do it.
all these other models I have in here
Listen here,
in this
you son of a
closet.
bitch.
All these other models I have in this closet, I thoroughly enjoy painting. Space Marines, I
Is it
hate.
because they're so similar, or is it just like what's your reasoning?
In,
I'm
or-
genuinely curious,
in order to make them look decent, you have to edge highlight.
and that's a bitch. No, I got that. Edge highlighting sucks. All right, moving on. How did the I missed this one, so you get a pass because I missed it. How did the chicken cross the road? I'm genuinely asking.
With its feet.
There you go.
on.
Yeah,
Moving on.
yep.
If you, thank you. If you'd make, oh, this is cool. If you'd make up a faction, Grand Alliance, or a piece of lore in Age of Sigmar or 40k, what would that be? It
Oh,
can be.
okay, I know this.
It can be a slight adjustment to existing lore, or a faction that existed but could be returned.
Okay, I know what this is. Or I know what my answer for this is going to be. I would canonize the existence of multiple realms outside of the 8 realms, and they're just mixed magic.
And they're just mixed magic realms.
Yeah.
So
That- no, no, no,
this is for AOS.
That is canon.
No. Make it or Arc and then fucking kill all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
There you
is-
go.
Yeah, it is canon.
Yeah.
The issue is
Okay,
that Archeon or some of the other Chaos Gods were like, dipping my balls in Varanite and then smearing it all over this realm.
Or if they are a thing that exists, actively pull them into the lore so they're a thing. So we
Yeah,
get more than
exactly.
just. So you have so you can still have the 8 mortal realms, but then you have the sub realms where more shit can go on.
Yeah,
Mine. Want to hear mine?
Yes.
Fire Slayers and Keratin Overlords were not different factions.
They're just.
They're just
same faction.
They're just new aesthetics of dwarves.
Yeah.
All right. You know mine is? You know mine is?
What?
I would canonize Malal.
Yeah.
I would 100%. But not just canonize Malal. Going a step further, I would canonize Malal in 40k, where the Sons of Malice have in fact brought him into real space, because there is a
That
story.
is canon.
Not that it's Malal though. I would canonize it is Malal.
Oh, yeah, they
and
just say
Malal,
they bring something
and
into
Malal
real
is
space.
in fact running around the 40k universe, gladly sowing anarchy amongst everyone he sees, mostly chaos because that's where he gets his kicks from. But just sowing chaos everywhere. I would 100% in all IPs canonize Malal because I think it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Moving on to the next one. What would be a lesser known fantasy character you would want to bring back in any way? Okay, my answer, because he was technically brought back, but it's not canon. It's kind of like highly implied that it's that man, but but it's done in such an awful way that it pissed everybody off. Cetra.
Etc.
I want Cetra to come back via Nagash, and Cetra go, sorry, I do not serve.
Nagash, I have summoned you to be my commander for da-da-da, and Cetra just like, yes, Cetra does not serve, bitch, and promptly fucks off into the sunset.
You know who I would want to bring back? All of the OG clan leaders for the rats. Grot.
Throt. Well, no,
Or
no,
Throt.
no, no, those weren't the leaders. Those were just the warlords for Total War because like they can't do like the big ones. But like bring back like the OG rats from the clans, like like the iconic ones. So Ikit, Throt, Tretch, Queek.
Yep.
I will say Queek's death is pretty fucking glorious, so I might keep Queek dead.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay,
do you know how Queek
Sorry,
died?
let me-
Do you know how Queek died in End Times?
Ah.
Oh my god. Thorgrim basically becomes the avatar of fucking Grungy and walks out onto the field to fight this absolute like multi-million horde of fucking Skaven where Queek and Ikit are they're fucking shit up. And he's like, fuck it, we live or we die, and just dives dick first into the fucking fray, and he finds Queek, and he's like, you're fighting me, motherfucker, and Queek's like, I've killed so many dwarves, I just killed Belagar, like, fuck you, dwarf man, I'm gonna fuck you up, and they get in a fight, and Thorgrim literally just starts screaming grudges from the Book of Grudges that are for Queek specifically, and starts fighting him, and Queek is like, I'm gonna do this thing I always do, why isn't it working? And Thorgrim is just like, cool, I'm going to choke you to death now. And with one hand, grabs Queek by the throat, brings him closer, brings in both his hands, and just fucking throttles him to death. Like, Queek's like scratching and stabbing, and Thorgrim's like, do I look like I give a fuck? And just fucking kills him. Like, that is how Queek dies. Is Thorgrim is just like,
Okay,
cool,
no, that's
grudge
pretty good.
time is now, die, rat man.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It
Yeah,
is. And then, of course, that fucking night, Thorgrim gets killed by fucking Deathmaster Snitch. Sorry, Snicked. No, so he goes up into his, like, secret tower bullshit, and Snick comes out and kills him. He's like, oh, man, I left the door open. So not only does he die, he leaves the door open, and all of the rats get in. And they destroy Kazakh.
Oh,
That's how that thing dies.
That's
Bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. Moving on.
Fruit Loops or honey
Hold
rings?
on, I didn't give mine.
You said Cetra,
No, you said Cetra.
but you also said
No,
Cetra.
mine isn't Cetra.
Oh, who is it?
So he wasn't. He wasn't really.
If it's not Beagel, I'm pissed.
It's not Beagel, but that's because Beagel was some Beagel. If Beagel is a wrong that needs to be righted. No, so this is actually a pretty well-known character towards the end of Fantasy, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna fuck the name up, and if I do, I'm sorry. Don't at me. It's a Vaten or Veten. I think it's Vaten. In Fantasy, Vaten for a long time was actually the wielder of Galmaraz because they thought he was the reincarnation of Sigmar.
Yes.
I would love to see him
Yes.
come back as a Stormcast Eternal
yes.
and be like Carthalos level bullshit.
Yeah.
I would also be okay if he was a Celestin Prime. Like I want
Yeah.
Carl Franz that if he was a Celestin Prime, because everyone was dead fucking certain
I
Vaten
just
was the
need-
reincarnation of Sigmar.
I just need Beagelt to come back as like a Lord Arcanum or a Lord Ordinator.
Okay.
I would actually love if Beagle came back as a human, not as a Stormcast. He was human, but he was like, I am one of the leaders of the Free Cities of Sigmar. Like he was like the
Gotcha.
big daddy leader of like the magical cover, like the Arcanum not the Arcanum Optimarch, the fucking the magic college and shit.
Yeah.
He was like the de facto leader, and he was also like kind of the de facto leader of like one of the major cities. And he was like, I do magic shit, I help Sigmar, and I'm fuck Manfred. Yeah. I want all the memories back, and the next time he sees Manfred, he's like, you bitch, Searing Doom. Want to win the magic, motherfucker? I got my eye on you. But yeah, I would bring my Vaten as a Stormcast. I think that'd be dope as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Fruit Loops or honey rings? Can I make a statement real quick?
Fruit Loops.
Honeycombs?
Who calls it honey rings?
What the fuck is a honey
It's
ring?
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh, Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops.
Okay, do I have to pick between those two?
Yes.
I like them both, honestly. My issue with Fruit Loops is that sometimes the artificialness... Sorry,
Mitchell's cheating on you in footsies with me.
Footsie's time has begun. No, that's threesome, my guy.
You grody, no. That's too many feet.
Not enough feet. Anywho, I would have to Cheerios, but for the one thing of the artificial fruit flavor can get really fucking old for me, like really quick. So
Understandable.
Like if I go like if I eat cereal every morning for breakfast, after 3 days I'm like, if I see one more fucking Fruit Loop, I'm going to kill myself.
But by the way, both of your recommendations are wrong because Special K is the answer.
I gotta go with Life. Like Life is really good.
Excuse you, I didn't realize that was on the fucking menu.
It's not, but I made it the menu.
Like Special K is nice, but Life's really good. What you know?
Shredded wheat.
You know what? Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Mini wheats do go hard sometimes.
Yeah.
We actually have a thing of mini wheats at the house.
Oh, you bit.
I ate a bowl in front of you.
You did?
Yes. You
The
were
older-
staring at me eating it. And you said nothing. And I'm
So-
I'm surprised I didn't say anything.
Was this last night when I was drunk?
Yes.
Okay, that's why I don't remember it.
No.
Man, you really started drinking a lot more, didn't you?
I've drank
is
more in the
depressed,
past
yes.
2 days than I have in the past, year. To be fair, I've gone almost cold turkey for the past year.
That's a fair point.
Our man is in crisis.
But my concern grows. We will have this conversation while we get ice cream.
My man is in
cool.
crisis.
10 minutes.
Cool.
But no. What pisses me off is there used to be a flavor of life that I'm not insane. I'm pretty sure they just don't make it anymore. But they used to make brown maple sugar.
No,
brown
you're
sugar,
not insane because that was one of my favorites.
And it was life. It was amazing.
Also, they
And
used
they
to
don't fucking make it anymore.
they used to make strawberry yogurt honey nut Cheerios.
Okay, so
I remember those.
Okay, so that's
Yes.
not only me though. Like that happened, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
it was
no,
like Honey Nut Cheerios, dipped in yogurt.
I
Right?
used to
Yes.
fucking.
Yeah,
I used to
remember that.
fucking I would body boxes of maple brown sugar life. That shit was amazing. And then one day
Life is pretty good.
One day I was just like, man, I wonder
Yeah.
where my maple brown sugar life is. And then I just never saw it again. I have no closure on that cereal. It just gone. It disappeared.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is also
I would
up there.
pay.
I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
The reason why I don't like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I love it. I eat it constantly. The reason why I don't like it is because when I eat it, I can feel myself getting diabetes. I can feel myself dying.
It's a dessert. It's not a breakfast.
It really is. But also, have you seen the step further? They have Cinnamon Toast Crunch churro cereal now.
Oh god.
And every time I go to I'm like, man, I kind of want it, but man, I kind of don't.
Every day we get closer to God.
Every day we stray further from the light of God, but we get closer to meeting Him.
Yeah,
All right,
that's fair.
moving on. What is the best car movie? Any car movie. Okay, is that like movies about cars or movies that have cool cars in them? Because
Movies about where cars are the point.
damn it, so that would be like any James Bond movie.
Oh,
Ooh, okay.
Think about it.
Yeah.
No.
We're really
But Ford versus Ferrari.
Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, yeah. That's I can't beat that.
I actually haven't seen that movie, but I've seen so much of the clips that I'm like, man,
It's such a
it
good
looks
movie.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm assuming you do know this because you've seen the movie and you've probably watched shit about it. Do you know why? What is it? The GT40 or the 400, the car, that one. What was it called?
What?
In Ford vs Ferrari, the car that won.
Oh, okay,
the
yeah,
Le Mans was
that car,
the
yeah.
GT40 or the GT400.
I don't remember.
Do you know why it stopped winning?
Why?
Le Mans literally made rules to stop it. They made rules restricting engine size and shit in the car specifically to stop the Ford from winning.
Nice.
And they also restricted the winners to only one, and it depended on what car traveled the farthest or something like that. So
Yeah.
Ford couldn't have 3 fucking winners at once. And there was a dude, one of the dudes who was, I think it was the dude who was in charge of making it, was doing an interview, and he was like, "Yeah, fuck Le Mans."
We're now going back to Le Mans with NASCAR cars, right?
Yeah, we got pretty close to winning, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched
So
that one Twitter
that-
video where it's the face inside the country of America, and
Yeah.
he was like, there in the thing was like, America, did you send a NASCAR to Le Mans? He was like, yeah, you're lucky it wasn't the 3 race hail praise Dale, and I'm like, oh yeah.
So
Oh, yeah,
with
habitual
that,
line crosser, yeah, I
it
love
was
him.
never going to win because it was an experimental, and the experimental can't win.
Yeah.
But it was.
It's
Winning.
basically America being like, do we have to put our cars in your races again and start beating the shit out of you?
And the only
a little
reason
bit.
why it didn't go all the way is because the transmission exploded.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is America's looking at Le Mans again like, looks like lunch. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a Ford versus Ferrari, watch it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Do we want to take a break here?
Let's do one more question.
Let's do one more question. Okay.
Okay.
The last question for the first part, because like I said, we're breaking it up probably, is a big one, so that kind of makes sense. I asked this last year. Oh, God. But what would you change to make the tabletop more accurate? Nope, we're not doing this question. This is going to be a long one.
No.
We're going to do this one
Well-
at the beginning of the next episode. This is going to be like a 30-minute conversation.
I think we can make this short because, honest to God, now that we've had a chance to play the game more and we understand the game more, realistically, how much would you change?
I would not really change the game.
Yeah.
My one thing about AOS, and I will literally go to my grave saying this until they change it, is that if you're shooting in a combat, if you miss, you hit friendlies. Or if you miss, you have to roll to hit friendlies.
Yeah.
If they are in melee and you shoot and you miss, you have to roll to hit friendlies.
I do like that idea.
And I don't think that certain range enemies should be able to shoot in melee. Like those, look, this fucking Stormcast have the big ass crossbows. I see that crossbows are maneuverable. They're meant to fire like closer range. They're easier to fire. I get that, but like, motherfuckers with like the big ass bows and shit. There is no fucking way you are procking that shit off with a fucking like not corn berserker, but fucking like a bloodletter or something in your shit, trying to kill you. You're like, oh, hold on, dunt. Like it's not gonna fucking happen. Like that shit, that pisses me off. So I think only some weapons should be able to be fired in melee. And if you're firing into melee, once again, if you miss the enemy, you have to roll to see if you hit a friendly. That's the AOS thing that pisses me off. 40k, I haven't read 10th edition rules thoroughly yet, so I'm going to abstain from answering that until I read more 10th edition rules. That's my answer for that. All right. Yeah.
I like the rules of Age of Sigmar, so I'm just going to stay quiet. Other than that,
well, you agree with me on the shooting part, so like that's basically it. Next part of the question: who is better, Teclis or Eldrad?
Well, Eldrad's fucking dead.
No, he's
no. Eldrad. No, never mind.
No, Eldrad is like Big Daddy Eldar. One of the strong. Eldred, I'm pretty sure.
Teclis.
No, wait.
I don't know. Yes, Eldred. No. Eldred from he was like the Farseer from fucking Beltan, I thought. I think. I don't know. Okay, listen.
No, wait. Yeah,
I can literally hear Ozzy screeching in the distance. I don't know Eldar lore very well, so just please don't give me some slack. But I'm pretty sure
that's right. You're talking about 40k.
40k, yeah, Teclis or 40k, because Eldrad was the Farseer from I think Beltan, and he's been alive since like the fall. He is like one of the strongest psychers in the galaxy. And he can like 100% see the future, like clearly see the future.
I hate trying to do comparisons between 40k psychers and AOS wizards, because the magic's
so different.
Just inherently different.
Here's what I'd have to say. I would have to say Teclis, because Teclis is a god.
Yeah.
Point blank. But the caveat is they aren't the same, and you can't really compare them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would have to say Teclis, he's a god. All right. Third part of the question. What would you add to AOS that is already mentioned in the lore and put it on tabletop?
Druckruth. I want little Kragnosses flying around.
Little baby Kragnosses?
I want my baby Kragnosses.
Chaos Dwarves.
Yeah.
Mainly because Chaos Dwarves are fucking hilarious in fantasy, and they're gonna be fucking hilarious in AOS.
Basically just more fleshed out beastmen.
Yeah, not just like goat people and that's it. Like goat people, Minotaurs, and that's all we got.
So, like Postigors.
Okay, hold on. So if you were to run Pestigors,
thank you.
There's Pestigors, Corn Gores, Slangors, and Zangors.
Yeah. Right now, all we have are Slangors and Zangors.
Would you, if you run Beast of Chaos, is that Beastmen? Okay, are they just not very fleshed out? I haven't run that. So.
Well, a bunch of their models are old.
So align, refresh, but make them more up to date with current lore, essentially.
Also, like there's not nearly as much kind of diversity. Because also, I believe you. I'm not sure about this, but I don't. Can you still run
Jabber Slides for Beast of Chaos?
Yes.
I
believe so. Yeah.
I'm not sure about that one. Also, I think Jabber Slides are a Forge World.
What about Gorgons?
I don't know.
I don't think Gorgons are anyway. But that's kind of what I mean.
The cow people is something I don't really pay attention to.
Fair. Yeah. All right. Is that basically the end of your?
Yeah.
All right. The last part of the question. How would you guys want Cities of Sigmar to be? Like, how would you say it would be best to represent the stuff from Old World that was ported over?
Okay, so I think you can keep Cities of Sigmar as mixed units.
They just need better model representation.
Yeah,
like point blank.
Need that, and I think you should be able to run, like, if you want to run just a straight up Carrick of dwarves
and say it's Cities of Sigmar, that should be acceptable.
Yeah,
it is.
It is, but it's not
better rule support.
Yeah, sorry,
yes.
not just accessible, but viable, because it's not viable.
Yeah,
and that goes in with like realistically all the models from Cities of Sigmar need to be refreshed, not just the humans. But Phil's already kind of talked about that. All right, this is going to be the end of part 1. We're gonna take a break, come back, and do part 2.
Yep.